when he suddenly transmigrated right into the driver's seat of bus number 1520, feeling completely disoriented, his head incredibly heavy and his thoughts sluggish. Turning around, he finds the entire vehicle packed with his female classmates from early childhood education. At Shen Chong University, he leans back in his seat, completely stunned. Counting himself and the class committee member, there are exactly 42 of them. Suddenly, a sharp mechanical voice fills the entire cabin, calling itself Tian Dao. It congratulates everyone on surviving their arrival in this multiplayer transit world. The voice presents a long list of survival rules, instructing them to read up. It frankly refuses to read them aloud, saying they probably would not remember anyway. Once everyone finishes reading, he stands up from the driver's seat to look around. The interior of the bus is incredibly bare and simple. He addresses the class president and the class committee member, noting their bizarre situation. They have definitely transmigrated. According to the system, every single organization receives one bus, meaning 41 girls and him are stuck in this vehicle together. That is when the mechanical voice chimed in again to start the selection process. It announces that a silent vote will decide who becomes the driver in 3 seconds. No surprises there. 3 seconds later, he is unanimously chosen for the job. The system officially confirms it, congratulating him on becoming their leader and driver, which grants him exclusive driver privileges and some decent starter rewards. The class president cheers, saying it is great to have him taking the lead. Suddenly, another announcement rings out. He has obtained the SSS Daily Sign-In talent. He will automatically sign in every day, getting 2 to 5 options to choose from. For day 1, his choices are 100 bottles of 500 milliliter Yibao mineral water, or 2 20-liter barrels of water. He chooses the bottles without any hesitation, and the items instantly appear inside his virtual backpack. It currently has 10 storage slots, and each slot can hold up to 100 identical items. This easily fits the water. Meanwhile, several of his female classmates begin calling out in sheer excitement. One girl announces she got an S-rank divine prompt talent, which lets her gather detailed information about items and nearby players, scan for resources, and warn them of oncoming dangers. Another girl got an S-rank super constitution talent. Her physical stats are 10 times higher than normal and will continue to grow at an incredible 10-fold rate. The cabin buzzes with confusion over what these stats actually mean until a classmate spots a digital game panel floating in the upper left corner of their vision. Tapping it opens a personal attribute page. He quickly pulls up his own screen. Unlike everyone else, his panel has 2 extra tabs, showing a trading market and a bus panel. He taps the regional chat channel first, taking a peek before announcing his own unique talent to the group, an A-rank healing art that can instantly treat any injured classmate. After summarizing their abilities, they have 3 S-ranks, 1 A-rank, and 2 B-rank talents. Not bad. The class committee member warns them not to let their guard down just because they got some strong starter abilities. He does not linger on the talk, stepping right back to his driver's seat. Starting the engine, he peers outside. There is only an endless expanse of yellow sand on both sides, with a perfectly straight road leading into the unknown. A chime rang. Bus 1520 started, and monsters would pursue them in 24 hours. He quickly ran the calculations. Driving 14 hours a day meant covering 280 kilometers. Monsters could travel 240 kilometers daily, leaving them with a 40-kilometer lead each day. But only if they kept schedule. 2 hours of driving went by. Then a new system alert buzzed in his ear. They were approaching a station called the Peace Convenience Store. He turned and asked Lin Chun and for details. She gave a quick nod, closed her eyes, and immediately began processing her talent. When her eyes opened, fear was written all over them. The place was dangerous, she warned. 2 stagger-type zombies were waiting inside. Instantly, the bus erupted. You can literally feel the fear spreading through the cabin. But he told everyone they had to go. The supplies inside were absolutely vital. They could not afford to skip this stop. Huang Ting immediately scoffed, saying it was easy for him to talk. Why not go face the two zombies alone instead of putting everyone else in danger? He was the only male left, so protecting them was his duty. But Lin Chun snapped, sharply demanding to know what she was thinking. Did she want him dead? Huang Ting doubled down, arguing they could not send frail girls to fight. Enough, he stopped the bickering and proposed a fair system instead. Those who volunteered to go first would get first pick of the scavenged goods. 4 girls raised their hands instantly. Li Ryo stepped forward, declaring she was going. She had an S-rank talent and refused to let it go to waste. She would not be a free rider. Liu Xiaofeng and Liu Xiaoying quickly joined her. Lin Chun tried to volunteer next, but he gently held her back. He told her she had already done enough by providing their crucial intel. She should wait inside. Watching this, Liu Xiaofeng's face went through a complex rush of emotions, but soon 4 more girls volunteered to fight. Bringing the total to 8, he nodded and led them off the bus. Inside the convenience store, 2 slavering zombies immediately lunged at them. Liu Xiaofeng was at the front, taking the brunt of the heavy assault. But her superhuman constitution held. Fight together, she screamed to the others. In the chaotic and brutal close-quarters struggle that followed, the group fought desperately and brought both monsters crashing down. During the intense fight, he noticed Liu Xiaofeng was badly hurt. He activated his healing arts. The soft green light washed over her wounds. Liu Xiaofeng stared at herself, then up at him, her face flushing with embarrassment, realizing she was not dead. She picked herself up. With her ears burning red, she whispered to him that she had always wanted to say something. She liked him, truly. He gently steadied her, thanking her softly for her feelings, a bit awkwardly. The moment passed, everyone began looting the store. He headed straight for the beverage shelves, grabbing bottled water, cola, and iced tea, anything they needed. Suddenly, he spotted a sneaking shadow by the entrance. It was Huang Ting. She was trying to sneak inside while it was still their turn. He stopped her, reminding her that the first combat group had earned the right of first pick. She whined that there was plenty left, but he escorted her right back to the entrance, telling her to wait. Huang Ting glared back with pure venom. Poison in her eyes, she had no choice but to head back to the bus. Grumbling all the way, after his group finished collecting, he called to the rest of the class, telling them the store was cleared with half of the supplies remaining. Huang Ting came flying out immediately, rushing straight into the store. Li Ryo asked what he had taken. They compared notes. She had mostly grabbed food while he had mostly taken water, a perfect complement. They agreed to trade and share. Then Lin Xiu Yuan pointed something out to him. She had noticed the shelves and storage racks inside the store were actually upgrade materials for the bus. She suggested not leaving those behind, so they quickly grabbed them and brought them back. On the bus, he asked everyone if they had enough materials. He told them he wanted to upgrade the bus, then went ahead and triggered the upgrade sequence. In the next moment, the bus expanded with a burst of golden light. The interior grew noticeably larger, seats widened, and 2 brand new rows appeared at the back. The system congratulated him on upgrading the bus to level 2. He unlocked a library, a massive water condenser, and the commerce module and function upgrades. The major water problem was mostly solved. The system made a global broadcast. Jiang Xiaochuan was the first driver in Region 6 to upgrade their bus. He was rewarded with a random skill and 5 attribute points. The skill turned out to be something called zero function. He wasn't sure of its exact use yet, but he noted it down. As the sun set, the announcement came. Night was falling and fog was rising, warning all drivers to proceed carefully. He muttered to himself, wondering what that meant exactly. Then a zombie lurched into the headlights. He swerved, monsters outside the windows began multiplying, ranging from scattered stragglers to massive clusters of shambling bodies. He could see immediately that these were not normal zombies. They had varying quality levels, and there were so many of them. The class committee member stepped forward, saying it looked like night driving was going to be necessary. He noted that only he had full driving rights, but he could share temporary permissions with others. He opened the bus panel and shared driving access with Li Royal, Lin Xiu Yuan, and Jian KK, Liu Xiaofeng and Liu Xiaoing. The bus's durability dropped as zombies occasionally struck the sides. The system told him he could repair it using ordinary iron nails, wood, or leather at the rate of 1 point of durability per iron nail or wood piece, or 5 pieces of leather per point. He made a mental note. Basic resources were more critical than he had thought. He opened the chat channel to see how other buses were doing. People were posting about zombies everywhere, describing terrifying encounters and dropping durability. Someone mentioned an abandoned factory nearby had yielded hundreds of iron nails. He put a note in the chat, asking everyone to stop before the engine shut down around 6:50 a.m., reminding them of the shutdown rules and how to handle it safely. Then he fell asleep in his seat. When the second day sign-in woke him, he was given options: expand backpack from 10 to 50 slots, or take a set of Majid biscuits, 200 pieces. He chose the backpack expansion without hesitation. 50 slots was far more valuable. At 6:50 a.m., Jian KK, who had been driving the overnight shift, brought the bus to a stop as instructed. The engine shutdown began. The bus interior went completely dark. Outside, it was bitterly cold, forcing most of the girls to gather together for warmth. Li Ryo called him over to join them, suggesting they all share body heat. Huang Ting immediately protested, claiming it was weird for a guy to join them. Li Ryo told her to stop being ridiculous and invited him once more. He joined, leaving Huang Ting to stew in her own bitter resentment. Everyone ignored her. Soon, the 35-minute shutdown finally ended. Lin Xiunan reported that a gas station with an attached convenience store lay ahead. It had 4 zombies and 2 zombie dogs, making the difficulty low. He suggested heading there for resources before starting the bus to roll out. As they arrived, he noticed another bus already parked at the station. A smaller, older vehicle filled to the brim with male students. The boy driving it suddenly spotted them in his rearview mirror. His eyes went wide, and loud, excited shouting erupted inside their bus. Hearing their excited cheers about finding a bus full of girls made his jaw tighten with pure anger. 10 minutes later, both buses parked. The standoff was here. Lin Xiunan scouted ahead and quickly whispered her assessment to him. The boy at the front wielded a B-rank talent called Skin Hardening, while his partner possessed a B-rank talent called Skin Spikes, making both dangerous combat types. He thanked her. Stay alert, he warned, as a boy stepped forward. With a confident swagger, the student stared down the crowd of girls. He smirked and told his friend they should teach these women a lesson. Pointing at him, the thug declared the lone male must be dealt with first. His companion, a cold boy named Zhang Zihao, gave the order to strike. He coldly ordered his crew to take him down and make sure absolutely nobody got away alive. Several boys charged, but Li Ryo moved first with her S-rank constitution. She surged forward, fast. She kicked an attacking zombie dog mid-leap. Its skull caved in instantly before she swept toward the first human attacker. The boy with skin spikes tried to grab her, but she easily bypassed him. She landed a precise kick that sent him flying, leaving Zhang Qihao struggling to rise. He collapsed. Just like that, the ringleaders were completely finished. The remaining boys scrambled back in terror as one student stepped forward. Trembling violently, he apologized and explained that the attackers, Jiang Qihao and Jiang Zihao, had been bullying everyone from the very start. He even pointed out another hidden gang member named Huang Jai. Since he was involved, he asked Lin Chunan to verify their ties. Only those specific thugs were actually ever involved. Recognizing they were victims, he warned everyone that threats wouldn't be tolerated. The remaining male students were allowed to leave. They were dismissed. He calmly reminded them that they were the ones who initiated the attack. What happened to their leaders was simply the consequence of their own choices. But Huang Jai remained. He sneered, promising to remember their faces. The girls dragged him back, giving him the exact same treatment. But as they dispersed, Huang Ting suddenly stepped forward. She pointed at the bodies, screaming that this was cold-blooded murder. She demanded to know how they could stand by killers, urging them to leave. Nobody moved as the air around Huang Ting turned freezing cold. A classmate told her straight up that those people had intended to kill everyone. The class president and the others had protected them. She called Huang Ting's words utterly disappointing. Several other students agreed, saying Huang Ting was not fit to be their classmate, let alone stay on the bus. She was nothing but constant trouble since day one. Huang Ting snapped back that they only defended Gu Pingsheng because he was a guy. Li Royal stared her down, saying, "It had nothing to do with gender but basic decency." The insults continued. But Huang Ting finally lost her mind and declared she was leaving, telling them not to come crawling back. Someone answered flatly that nobody would be doing any crawling. As the class president and driver, he officially expelled Huang Ting from bus 15200. The system confirmed it. A transparent barrier formed right between her and the door. She was permanently banned from boarding. It was one of his driver's rights, one he hoped never to use on a classmate, but she chose this path. Own doing. Liu Shaiying rushed toward the door, begging her older twin sister not to go. He gave Shaiying 2 minutes to say goodbye. Lin Xuan went down with her. Huang Ting ranted at Lin Xuan outside, calling her a small-time nobody, insulting the entire class, calling them murderers, and saying they were disgusting for siding with him. Lin Xuan listened in absolute silence. Huang Ting kept screaming until she had completely exhausted herself, then demanded to know what Lin Xuan wanted to say. Lin Xuan said nothing. In one swift motion, she raised her axe and ended it right there. She wiped the blood away, calm and methodical. Before walking back to the bus, the entire class fell silent when she returned. Without Huang Ting, someone nervously asked what they had talked about. Lin Xuan said, "It was nothing for kids to worry about." Liu Shaiying began to weep, but the others comforted her. Later on, Lin Xuan quietly approached his side, asking if he was angry with her. He assured her he was not, easily guessing what had happened. They both understood. Leaving Huang Ting alive was a threat that would only grow. If she gained any power later, she would definitely seek revenge. Lin Xuan had done what he, as the class president, could not do. He thanked her. Her expression softened a bit. She confessed that telling him made the heavy weight on her chest feel a little lighter. Li Raya walked over with a look he already recognized all too well, a flash of jealousy at seeing him with Lin Xuan. She assured Lin Xuan she was not interrupting, and Lin Xuan drifted away with a quiet smile. Li Raya faced him, fidgeting nervously before saying that she liked him. He admitted he already knew, having sensed it all along. She then asked what he thought of her. He told her she was beautiful, with long and fair legs. She countered that if he liked, she could be his, but only as the official girl, or at least the senior one. Talk about bold, he teased. She made him sound like a terrible person. Li Raya caught him glancing toward Liu Xiaofeng, Liu Xiaoing and a few others. She called him a flirt and pulled him close, kissing him without waiting for another word. Back there, Liu Xiaofeng sat watching with eyes that looked ready to shatter from the sheer strain of not looking away. She was just waiting for the right moment. Go talk to him in private. Liu Xiaoing leaned over and whispered to her twin that she needed to be bolder if she liked someone. Liu Xiaofeng pressed her lips together but said nothing. That night he assigned driving shifts and tried to get some rest in the back. Liu Xiaofeng came to tell him it was her turn to drive. He told her to watch out for the zombies outside, and if she needed to stop, to wake everyone first. He got up to move to her seat. Li Royao grabbed his arm and pulled him further toward the back of the bus. Liu Xiaofeng gripped the steering wheel and stared at the road, quietly seething. The Day 3 sign-in gave him the option of 20 random weapons, 200 magic biscuits, or 2 cold water paint papers. He chose the weapons, 20 weapons for the class. It was the clear choice. The system distributed them: 5 fire extinguisher clubs, 3 long swords, 4 staffs, 5 pens, 2 kitchen knives, and 1 wireless chainsaw. He held up the chainsaw with a raised eyebrow. Li Royao came over, immediately calling it amazing, and asked if it was his daily reward. He confirmed it and told everyone to wake up. He was distributing weapons. He took back Li Royao's fire axe from before and gave her the chainsaw, then went down the rows and handed out the rest, based on each person's build and strength. Someone pointed out that zombies had appeared even during the daytime. Now, he agreed that it seemed like the difficulty was quietly escalating. Stay prepared. The temperature had plummeted 4 degrees below yesterday's reading, too sharp for a coincidence. He warned everyone that they would need to find clothing as well as food and water going forward. Someone muttered nervously about whether a cold front was really coming. At 6:50 a.m., the bus shut down for 7 minutes. Li Jian approached him during the shutdown, asking to borrow water. He agreed, but told her she would need to return it. She nodded and then surprised him by apologizing. She said she had been wrong to bully Liu Xiaofeng and Liu Xiaoying and promised to protect them. From now on, when they explored stations, she bowed to him and then ran off. After the shutdown, he opened the bus panel and saw he had collected enough materials for the large water condenser. He built it on the spot, combined with the smaller condenser they already had. They now had 25 liters per day. It would barely cover everyone, but it was enough for now. He called everyone together. The system message announced the next station, Huangang Station near Huangang Village. He asked Lin Ziyuan to give him the full read. Lin Ziyuan reported medium-low difficulty. 1 black iron mid-quality treasure chest at the station, 2 ordinary upper-quality fushi, and 1 ordinary mid-quality fushi waiting at the platform. She paused to explain what fushi were. They were a type of zombie that function like delivery workers, wanting to board the bus and be transported. Unlike standard zombies, they wouldn't attack unless provoked while on board. Someone asked how that was any different. Lin Ziyuan clarified, the big difference was they were rideable, earning them valuable transit coins. He agreed it made sense, but rules forbade letting dangerous passengers board. The question was whether these 3 fushi qualified as dangerous. He proposed they trust Lin Ziyuan's read and let them on, delivering them to Huangang Village for the coins. He planned to claim the reward first and deal with them afterward. The debate grew lively. Classmates hated the idea of zombie delivery workers sitting right next to them. In the end, the group voted to proceed anyway. The bus rolled out. They soon arrived at Huangang Station. The platform looked completely stark, no buildings, just a lonely station pole and 3 shambling figures in ragged clothes with rotting skin standing completely still beside a black treasure chest. A nearby signpost read 10 kilometers to Huangang Village. The 3 fushi boarded one by one, shuffling in a slow rhythm, and took empty seats. Without any trouble, the system quickly confirmed the quest: deliver 3 fushi to Huangang Village within 25 minutes for 2 transit coins each. Our driver steered toward the village junction. Lin Ziyuan advised him to take the left fork toward Huangang Village to complete the delivery, but warned that this village itself was extremely dangerous. He only needed to reach the entrance. Nearing the village, he slowed the bus and exchanged a look with Li Royao. The 2 of them stepped off as the fushi stood to disembark. The moment 2 of them stepped outside, they acted fast and efficiently. One was handled by Li Royao, the other by him. The third met the exact same fate moments Later, the system confirmed delivery complete. He had earned 6 transit coins. A global announcement echoed. Just like that, he became the first driver in Region 6 to complete a passenger delivery. He was awarded the title of Model Driver and 20 attribute points. He added 10 to Constitution, 5 to Agility, and 5 to Stamina. Lin Chuan mentioned, looking pretty flustered, that if he saved up 20 transit coins, she wanted a bedroom installed inside the bus. She added, blushing even harder, that it would give him and the class committee some much-needed private space. Everyone nearby immediately started teasing them. With grins, Li Ryle looked away pointedly. They continued driving, and he traded on the chat channel to stock up on missing resources. After gathering enough, he announced he was upgrading the bus again. The vehicle expanded with another surge of energy. System confirmed, bus upgraded to level 3. He had now obtained new blueprints, including a rare glory blueprint, and unlocked the acceleration function, usable once per day. Lin Chuan teased that if they collected enough coins, she could still make that bedroom happen. A classmate, Zhao Yuding, approached him quietly, asking to borrow some cigarettes and a lighter. He told her she would need to trade something later. She agreed readily and walked off. Later, Li Royale pulled him aside and asked what Zhao Yuding wanted, looking pretty suspicious. He told her the truth, letting her relax, but she still jabbed him about always chatting with other girls. The next station announcement echoed. Yingtsun Station. Lin Chuan's scan confirmed a bronze mid-rank fierce ghost waiting on the platform, and trust me, it was no passenger. Its real intent was to trick the bus into stopping and opening doors so they could be eaten. However, as long as they did not stop or open the doors, there was absolutely no danger. The ghost was bound by system rules from approaching any moving vehicle. He warned everyone and kept the bus rolling, hugging the far left side of the road to avoid getting close to the platform. As they passed Yingshan Station, he saw it, a massive humanoid creature standing right on. The creature on the platform stood 3 meters tall, its blood-red eyes locked onto the passing bus. The system immediately warned him that his spirit power had just dropped by 20 points. He gritted his teeth. Just looking at certain monsters drained his spirit power. That was a dangerous rule. Lin Chuan murmured that the station had a high difficulty rating. The massive monster boasted a constitution of 320 points. Their entire bus combined would struggle against that thing. He quietly noted the threat. An hour later, another bus rolled down the adjacent road past Yingshan Station. Soon, they heard through the chat channel what had just happened to them. That driver saw the ghost standing there and foolishly thought it was a regular passenger. He actually let it board. The global system announcement that followed was absolutely brutal. A player named Chen Jiangxing was officially the first in Region 6 to suffer a complete wipeout. The system warned that accepting unknown passengers carried a massive fatal risk. The chat erupted in absolute horror and dark jokes. He was glad Lin Chuan warned them. Lin Chuan had warned them just in time. That night, a new zombie started tailing the bus. It was a low-rank black iron collider zombie with 63 constitution points. Watching it smash headfirst into a road barrier, he chuckled and decided to test its strength. He aimed straight at it. The brutal head-on collision crushed the monster instantly. It dropped 2 transit coins and a black treasure chest in the wreckage. But stepping outside to grab that chest was way too risky, with other monsters swarming around. He left the loot behind with some regret and drove on, having lost 3 durability points. By midnight, the cabin fell quiet as most of his classmates finally slept. Suddenly, the system cheerfully announced a new update. Congratulations, the new player protection period has officially ended. Wasn't that exciting? Talk about a rude awakening. The chat erupted in grumbles. The system knew it was being cursed out, but shrugged it off. It released a grim 3-day report. 500 million players were dead. 90,000 buses were completely wiped out. Now, regional rankings were live. Rewards would be split across 5 tiers. he immediately opened his ranking. He was ranked first in Region 6. Every classmate received 15 attribute points. They also got 10 extra backpack slots, while his driver reward was a skill book. 500 milliliters of spring water, 100 bottles, and 3 random skill books. The rewards were incredible. Everyone was practically vibrating with excitement. But then the system dropped some terrifying new rules. The cabin fell silent. These changes were brutal. The buses would now randomly shut down at unpredictable intervals. The implications were chillingly obvious. If their bus shut down while surrounded by zombies, they would have to fight on foot. He quickly stepped in to calm his classmates down, urging them not to lose hope. He distributed the skill books, giving farming to Jiang Kai-ki and Mysterious Shield to Lin Xiu Yuan, while Luo Xiao Zhu got a control skill. Then he set up a night watch rotation, dividing 41 classmates into 8 separate groups. 7 groups of 5 and 1 of 6, taking turns to spot any sudden shutdowns. Then came the day for sign-in. He was offered a random black iron skill. 300 bottles of mineral water, 50 transit coins, or a single magnetic stun baton box. He immediately checked the market price for that black iron stun baton. It was worth a whopping 1,000 transit coins. Naturally, he chose option 4. No hesitation, the intercom announced a special combat station next. Lin Xiu Yuan scouted. She reported medium-low difficulty puppet guardians. At least 15 puppets blocked them, with a black iron leader. Raw iron stones filled the area, requiring intensive smelting first. He quickly called for volunteers. 28 eager hands shot up immediately. He felt pleased. The moment they stepped off, puppets charged. They looked pretty impressive mechanically, showing off massive metal bodies. With grinding gears and stiff joints, they posed no real threat. The biggest stood over 3 meters tall, boasting a constitution of 195. Still, with great coordination, they easily managed. She retrieved a skill book called Iron Puppet Summon during the fight. It allowed her to summon a puppet helper, leaving her absolutely thrilled. Luo Xiao Feng lost her heavy cleaver, so he gave her a new weapon. She had no idea how to repay him, but he told her to just fight hard. She nodded emotionally. Afterward, the group swept through the station. They gathered iron swords and axes, enough to arm most classmates. He quickly called down the rest of the passengers to help. They cleaned out the remaining loot, while Lin Xuan tallied everything. 10 raw iron stones were required to smelt 1 iron ingot. They gathered enough for 800 ingots, with 50 being black iron. Their stockpile had never been this rich. They looted 2 more stations. Later, the leader noticed an interesting pattern and pointed it out. No zombies ever spawned inside the stations, making them safe havens. They could search without fear of an ambush. At lunch, he scrolled through the global chat. Many survivors reported a strange pattern. Stations were spawning much faster, and one bus found a lady. She was a pale, silent zombie in a white dress near a chest. She didn't chase them. Others confirmed seeing the exact same thing. That creepy detail stuck in his mind, and honestly, who could blame him? He spent 20 transit coins to install a bedroom module in the back. Lin Xuan announced it teasingly, joking about his private space with their classmate. The entire class immediately erupted in loud cheers and wolf whistles. Li Royal pretended to hear nothing, staring intensely out the window. He upgraded the bus to level 4, massively expanding its frame. It now resembled a sleek charter coach. Suddenly, 2 zombies charged. They attacked simultaneously from both sides. He hit the accelerator immediately. The bus plowed straight through them, creating a jarring, satisfying impact. But a 12-minute shutdown hit immediately, forcing everyone outside. The moment they hit the pavement, monsters swarmed from the dark. An intense clash began, thanks to his healing and Li Royal's power. Along with their new weapons and great coordination, they held on. They successfully pushed through. Once the intense dust settled the ground, was covered in bodies, dropping several highly valuable virus serums. These would cure anyone bitten before the infection fully set in. He handed them out immediately as a safety precaution for everyone. Healing talents could fix most injuries, but Lin Xuan could not predict the exact shutdown timing beyond rough estimates. The driver warned everyone to stay light. On their feet during night drives, the system announced they were approaching Yun Dong service area, free fuel, food, and water, a completely safe zone. 12 hours of complete safety in this brutal world that was pure paradise. The students desperately wanted to stay overnight. Seeing their exhaustion, he carefully agreed. They could rest, but he warned them not to get too comfortable here. They had to stay sharp for the road. Ultimately, the majority voted to stay. At the entrance, a man in white appeared inside the toll booth, introducing himself. As the manager, their first visit was free, with a 12-hour limit. Smiling, the driver pulled out a pack of cigarettes from their traded goods. He offered them to the man, claiming the manager must have dropped them. The manager blinked, surprised, then accepted the bribe with a quiet nod. The driver whispered to Lin Chuan to help him corner the manager later. Her truth-detecting talent would verify the man's words. He parked the bus. He announced they must return by 4:55 a.m., no exceptions. Next, he set up a private chat group so they could stay connected. As the students dispersed, the driver and Lin Chuan set off. They tracked down Wang Kai, the manager. Li Ruyao insisted on joining them for security, and he accepted. Wang Kai sat across from them, inviting their questions. He promised to answer honestly if rules permitted him to speak. The driver asked if he was from Earth. Wang Kai shook his head. He was from another world entirely, and his background remained a secret. But he admitted he once drove a bus. The driver asked about his passengers. Wang Kai froze, quietly whispering that they were all long gone. The driver offered condolences, then pressed him about Tian Dao's true purpose. Why was Earth transported here? But Wang Kai claimed he knew very little. He simply warned them to keep the bus moving forward on the straight road and never let the chaser catch up, fighting them, a fatal mistake. Any killed chaser would be replaced by a faster, deadlier version the next day. Looking out at the darkening sky, the manager added a grim warning. Temperatures were plummeting. A devastating blizzard was coming in a few days. This frozen wasteland's blizzards were lethal, and they desperately needed warm clothes. Suddenly, a message pinged in the group chat. Trouble was brewing already. Some boys from another bus were harassing Liu Xiao Feng, threatening violence. The driver stood up immediately, rushing toward the chaotic confrontation point. A hostile gang had surrounded his classmates, led by an arrogant boy. The punk claimed he only wanted to make friends with a classmate. But she had refused his request, offending his massive ego. He expected an apology. The driver coldly replied that the girl had every right to refuse him. The punk sneered, spitting out a vile insult. He then demanded they hand over several female classmates to his bus. The driver smirked. Once they left safety, they'd see who was truly prey. The punk sneered, claiming the driver had some serious nerve. A few more thugs stepped forward, but Wang Kai's cold warning suddenly cut through the tension. Security warned everyone that fighting in the service area was forbidden, suggesting that the parties separate. The ringleader sneered and ordered his group to retreat, promising they would finish it outside. He turned to his classmates, telling them to rest early. Tonight, they were probably going to have a fight come morning. On the way back, he ran into a driver selling a special chest. After some negotiation, he got it. For 10 packs of cigarettes, 10 bottles of alcohol, 10 cups of instant noodles, and iron ingots along with other items. The chest could contain anything, an incredible weapon or a terrifying monster. The risk was real, but the reward was worth it, and honestly, who could resist? He gave it to Li Royal to open tomorrow. Then they headed back to their rooms. He noticed Liu Xiao Feng watching them from the end of the hall as Li Royal and he walked together. She said nothing. Xiaoying gently tugged her toward their room, whispering encouraging words. Morning came, everyone assembled at 4:55 a.m. He had Li Royal open the chest. While they were still in the safe service area, the chest opened, revealing a clear spirit long spear, a bronze low-rank weapon. Its description confirmed it dealt massive damage to ghost-type entities. This was absolutely perfect and unknown. Threat had just received its perfect counter. The rival bus appeared shortly. After blocking their exit route, their spokesperson, the same arrogant guy from the night before, crossed his arms, waiting for them to beg him. He looked around at his classmates. Lin Chuan had already scanned the enemy bus. 3 talented players were on board, the strongest being a rank. One had a food generation talent, another had B-rank stone body, and the last had B-rank jumping enhancement. That final opponent posed the biggest challenge. A leaping enemy combined with stone skin could get tricky. He quickly planned his strategy while the enemy issued a final threat. The battle began, with Li Royal leading the charge thanks to her high stats, the weapon upgrades they had, and the coordinated formation they had practiced. The enemy squad crumbled faster than they ever expected. No one on their side got hurt. The system confirmed they wiped out a rival bus and could salvage it for valuable resources. The wreckage yielded a transit heart, the rare item needed for a level 5 bus upgrade. He had wondered how to obtain one. He used the bus panel to dismantle the enemy vehicle for 30 more transit coins and raw materials. They continued on. The road, he spotted something highly unusual ahead. A woman in a white dress was crouching with her back turned, crying. The sound echoed over the engine. He slowed the bus immediately. Lin Chuan identified the creature. That was a weeping walker zombie. She noted it was silver low rank with over 600 constitution points. The beast would not attack unless provoked, meaning if anyone got too close or if they attacked it first, it would respond with catastrophic force. He steered the bus as far to the right as possible, keeping far from the woman. They passed in total silence. Several minutes later, a smaller bus appeared in the rearview mirror following their route. Its passengers were heard bragging over the open chat channel. One passenger started commenting on the crouching woman, calling her pretty and suggesting they capture her. His friend quickly had to explain why that was a fatal mistake. He held his breath, watching. The trailing vehicle luckily came to its senses and sped away without. After the incident, that day's sign-in gives him a choice: 10 attribute points, 50 transit coins, or 50 black iron ingots. He goes with the coins. Meanwhile, Lin Chuan spots something promising ahead: River West Village. Since it is a forest station, meaning they have no choice about stopping, Lin Chuan's talent warns of medium difficulty with about 10 bronze low-rank special zombies inside. Their type is the fat zombie. When approached, they vomit a green fluid that drives nearby zombies absolutely berserk. Upon death, they also self-destruct, and the explosion scatters that toxic vomit. She also mentions there are 3 bronze mid-rank MP5 submachine guns inside, each with 59mm rounds plus 300 spare rounds. He gets to his feet and tells the class this is a forced station. Everyone has to participate. One student bursts out, saying she does not want to go near the zombies. He tells her calmly that any classmate who refuses to participate in mandatory stations will have their access to the communal water supply and shared resources completely revoked. He adds that anyone who continues to be dead weight will eventually be thrown off the bus entirely. That gets several people moving who were previously hesitating. One girl even claims she is not that scared anymore. The group prepares their weapons. Inside River West Village, the fat zombies prove as tricky as described. Every time one dies, it explodes in a spray of green fluid that sends nearby zombies into a frenzy. Lin Xuan helps them navigate the village layout with her talent, directing them toward pockets of zombies that can be isolated and drawn out. They use the zombie frenzy fluid tactically to draw groups away from each other. In the end, they clear the village with no casualties, collect 5 zombie frenzy blood flags, and find 3 MP5 guns with full ammo in the village headman's house. He gives one to Lin Xuan, one to Li Royal, and keeps one for himself. Lin Xuan thanks him. Li Royal asks if she can try firing it. He tells her to go ahead but reminds her bullets are not for testing. After resting briefly in the headman's house, they sweep the rest of the village until sunset, then head back to the bus. With the immediate danger handled, he focuses on logistics, having built a small melting furnace earlier with the smelting blueprints they gathered. He now installs both the large water condenser and the furnace into the bus panel. Between them, they can now handle both water and iron ingot production. He's also installs the warehouse module, which expands their storage space considerably. The warehouse appears in the rear of the bus, capable of holding hundreds of items without taking up any seating space. The chat channel gives him news from other buses. Some have hit a forced escape station and been nearly wiped out entirely. Another group has encountered a special mission station requiring completion before they can leave. The variety of station types is far more extensive than he initially thought. He spends coins to upgrade the bus armor to a higher durability grade and then checks his current resources. Just then, a message arrives from a driver named Huang Tian, who identifies himself as the driver of the bus they let go earlier. He says his bus looted a clothing store and has plenty of thick winter clothes. He offers to sell 30 sweaters, 20 jackets, and 20 padded coats. He wants zombie virus serums in trade. He confirms he can supply 30 serums for the entire lot. Huang Tian agrees, and they also trade for significant quantities worth of steel ingots. The bus pushed through the afternoon. By the time Lin Xuan checked the temperature again, the drop was undeniable, 4 degrees below the previous day's average, proving this was no normal fluctuation. He announced to the class that besides food and water, they needed warm clothing from now on. Lin Xuan stared out at the gray sky, grimly hoping it was only cold and not what she truly feared. The days blurred slightly as the temperature plummeted further. Lin Xuan spent both mornings trading aggressively, swapping ingots for warm clothing, distributing everything to classmates as fast as he got it. The water condenser also needed protection from freezing temperatures. He reinforced it with insulation from the warehouse. In the chat channel, talk of blizzard survival was spreading rapidly. Several drivers saw the first snowfall starting and scrambled for coats. He was glad they prepared early. By the end of day 8, every classmate had a padded coat. They passed through 2 more regular stations uneventfully, collecting resources both times. One yielded a bronze chest containing arrows, a humidity bow, and 5 energy cores. He gave the bow to Xiao Feng, the shortest and most precise student among those who showed accuracy with ranged weapons. She received it gratefully. Lin Xuan noticed Zhang Kekai watching with a downcast look and made a mental note to find her an equivalent weapon. The Day 10 sign-in offered a white-silver level upgrade module or a fail-safe bus option. Lin Xuan chose the module. Lin Xuan approached on Day 10 morning with an unusual report. They were approaching a stop called River Middle Station. Difficulty was high and resources were 0, but there was a passenger, a ghost in red garments, white-silver peak rank, wanting a ride to a place called Helen Ancient Town for a wedding ceremony. The fare was 10 to 50 transit coins depending on service. He told her to be absolutely clear. This was a white silver peak rank entity. They absolutely could not handle this like the Fuji. She agreed readily, adding she was listed as a proper passenger with a legitimate destination. As long as they delivered her safely, they would be fine. Lin Xuan gripped his spear tightly as he opened the bus door at River Middle Station. The sight made his spirit power drop 7 points instantly. An enormous figure in crimson robe stood motionless on the platform, its presence washing over them like cold water. Liu Shaiying lost 10 spirit power from one look. The ghost approached and offered him 2 pieces of candy. He accepted them, studying the offerings. They appeared to be wedding candy. His model driver title must have made an impression. He told Liu Shaoying to start driving. They headed for Helen. The road had 2 junction points, and without his divine prompt, they would have taken the wrong paths. Each wrong turn would lead them deeper into extreme danger. With this perfect guidance, they navigated correctly and arrived at the ancient town. When the ghost descended from the bus, a small smile crossed its lips, a strange, unreadable expression. The system confirmed delivery and paid them in transit coins. His title bonus added extra to the payout. Snow had started falling as they left. Lin Xuan knew the blizzard Wang Kai warned them about had arrived. He announced the bus needed an upgrade before the blizzard worsened. Everyone contributed their resources. The bus expanded to level 5, introducing an ignition system that prevented sudden shutdowns in harsh weather. The upgrade also added 4 new bedroom modules and a reinforced superstructure. These new rooms caused an instant scramble. He told everyone the current 4 would be shared rotation until they could add more. Ling Xuan pointed out with mock innocence that now he had a proper bedroom for private use. The class erupted again. The snow outside thickened, but the bus interior stayed warm. Most of them finally slept without fear for the first time in days. The next day, he signed in for a bronze quality iron saw. He would have preferred something rarer, but gear was still gear. The road outside was oddly clear of zombies, which felt wrong. Lin Chuan flagged the next stop, Wanchi Station, a passenger station. This time the passenger was a wanderer, whom Lin Chuan described as a small but powerful warrior faction working to eliminate monsters and restore safety. For human players, their destination was a place called Guanlin Community, he said. This was different from the Fushy situation. They should treat the wanderer with respect and actually help him. The wanderer boarded their bus calmly. He introduced himself, heading to Guanlin Community to eliminate the night demon zombies nesting in the area since the first Blood Moon event. He offered them route guidance at junctions and even handed him a gift. Before anything else, a material blueprint of considerable value. This gesture surprised him. He drove to Guanlin Community while the wanderer explained the way that night demon zombies had emerged after the Blood Moon and were spreading. Their minimum quality was black iron, but their variety and numbers made them dangerous. Lin Chuan offered to scout the community building by building. She warned there were night demons on multiple floors, 3 of which were bronze peak rank, and one of the top floors had a talent chest. That was highly unusual, but the wanderer confirmed he was prepared to help them access the chest to thank them for their cooperation. Inside the community, the wanderer moved with practiced efficiency, slaying night demons with his spear while they supported him, fending off flankers. The black iron grade 1s fell quickly to their combined fire. A bronze lower rank 1 required the wanderer's spear and his healing arts together before it went down. On the upper floors, the numbers grew. Over 30 night demons swarmed after they breached the 5th floor. Lin Chuan directed them into a position where the zombie frenzy fluid could clear most of the crowd at once. It worked perfectly. 2 upper floors held a breeding-type night demon and 2 commander-type night demons, bronze peak rank each, more formidable than anything they had faced. The wanderer pointed out that the breeder was the root cause of the night demons in the building spawning more indefinitely. He had an idea and asked Lin Xiuwan if using zombie frenzy fluid to lure the breeder into sunlight would work. She estimated over a 50% chance of success. He agreed. Even better odds with more vials. They set the lure, the trap closed, and all 3 bronze peak rank night demons were drawn together and eliminated. The haul from the top floors was substantial. Energy cores, rare stones, and talent card fragments. The wanderer thanked them afterward with genuine warmth. He said without them he would not have survived this encounter. He handed over a chest, a gold low rank quality card. which would temporarily boost luck when opening chests. He suggested the talent chest upstairs was the right place to use it. He used it on the talent chest, yielding 5 E-rank talent card. Fragments, 3 C-rank fragments, 1 A-rank fragment, and 1 S-rank fragment. He immediately gave Liu Xiaofang the 10 A-rank fragments, telling her he believed in her. Liu Xiaofang used all 10 fragments. The system congratulated them. She had obtained the A-rank talent apothecary. She could now craft medical compounds, each batch costing spirit power. She could discover new recipes. By pushing her spirit power past critical thresholds, he told her the materials from the warehouse were hers to use as she needed. After the wanderer departed, he mentioned he could no longer use buses for a while. Too much work waited elsewhere. They returned to the road. Liu Xiaofang showed him her first batch recipes: zombie virus antidote, berserker compound, and a note that dangerous new recipes could emerge if she pushed past safe spirit power limits. Day 12 sign-in had 5 options. He chose the B-rank talent card. The system confirmed he had obtained B-rank battle talent. Several classmates said he would surpass them soon. He told Li Royan not to distract him while he was driving. She laughed, which set off another minor incident when he nearly veered. The system count of surviving global players stood at 7.2 billion. The first blood moon was imminent. Blood moon rules were displayed. Everyone's face went pale reading them. Someone muttered darkly that Tiando must have been enjoying themselves. Giving them good news followed immediately by terrible news. He told everyone what was coming would come regardless. They were ready. Stay calm and fight well. In the chat channel, some people mocked them and hoped they would be wiped out. Others defended them. One person threatened to curse whoever spoke badly about their bus. Then the blood moon descended, turning the sky crimson. The world outside the bus changed instantly. Zombies stopped moving randomly and began coordinating, pressing toward the road in waves. He spotted a white-silver low-rank zombie actively chasing the bus and called Li Ryo forward. She deflected while he fired the MP5 in short bursts. It took several hits but eventually dropped, leaving a white-silver chest. Li Ryo jumped out in a brief window and retrieved it, a skill book perfectly suited to the weapon she had just been using. She laughed, saying the zombie had practically delivered it to her. Zombies started attacking from all 4 directions simultaneously. Classmates stationed at the windows used weapons and ranged attacks. The skill books and talents they had accumulated showed their worth. He noticed the zombies were disorganized in how they attacked, mostly just pressing and swiping at the glass rather than doing anything clever. Lin Chuanan remarked that variety in zombie behavior was showing. Some were smarter than others. Someone shouted from behind they needed iron ingots urgently because the bus durability was dropping. He opened the warehouse and threw ingots down the line. A bus in the chat channel mentioned encountering a station during Blood Moon night. He had never thought that was possible. Lin Chuanan confirmed it could happen. A driver offered to trade rare grass herbs for his iron ingots. He accepted, trading 10 stalks of hidden corpse grass for black iron ingots. He immediately handed the herbs over to Liu Xiaofeng, who would know exactly how to use them. As the blood moon raged, he checked the global rankings that morning. Their bus had secured a spot in the top 3, with their score climbing toward 11,000. He spotted the top 5, including a bus named Pingyin, another called Shouting Great Wall, and a third named Shenlong. But then a bus called Statue of Liberty in 4th place instantly vanished from the active leaderboard, completely wiped out. Jiang Xiaojun shared the grim news with the chat channel, warning that massive hordes of weeping walker zombies were spotted on specific roads. They needed to reroute immediately. Then the station alert flashed: Gaiatai Killing Station, a brutal slaughter type station with a 1-hour time limit. Lin Xuan assessed the difficulty as totally manageable, especially with 5 fixed mounted machine guns ready to fire, even though they could not be stripped for parts. Still, unleashing them for an hour would rack up insane points. They arrived. The layout was a raised platform surrounded by narrow approach. Corridors below, he stationed classmates at the machine guns and split up the rest into close combat groups to handle overflow. He warned everyone to fire in short bursts to prevent overheating. Right then, someone suggested using water supplies to cool down the barrels if they overheated. Smart move. 4. An hour straight, relentless zombie waves crashed forward and were shredded by the heavy machine guns. When the timer hit 0, they had harvested over 1,000 points. Not a single ally was seriously hurt. The system updated. Their bus had clinched first place globally with 16,000 plus points. Talk about setting the bar high. He shared the news so other drivers could realize what they were up against. The long night still had 3 hours remaining. He asked who wanted to practice their shooting on the remaining zombies. Several hands shot up. He smiled and let them. The blood moon ended. A global broadcast. First place, Ping and Bus, driver Jiang Sheajin, 20,001-26 points. Second was Shouting Great Wall, and third was Huaxia first. They were first, literally first place. Everyone erupted in celebration. The rewards for their bus were staggering: 20 additional attribute points per person, 15 extra backpack slots each, 20 E-rank fragments, 10 A-rank fragments, 10 more A-rank fragments, and a brand new title for the entire bus, Eternal Travelers, which granted everyone a single immunity to fatal damage, alongside a personal 200% attribute growth rate boost for him. As the driver, globally, survivors had plummeted from 7.2 billion to 3.8 billion. Almost half the human population was wiped out. He told everyone to take a moment and focus. Staying alive was the ultimate victory. He distributed the talent fragments based on need. Li Jiang received extra for her recent dedication. Yang Jiaozin got a set, while Lu Shaoying opened hers immediately. Her mechanic talent had 4 capabilities: repairing the bus's durability, modifying the vehicle structure, fabricating new rides, and actively scrapping rival buses. She was already plotting devious ways to use that final ability. Several other classmates received their fragments as well. Shen Tong-er's set unlocked a B-rank talent she described with wide, shocked eyes. Xiao Meng's fragments granted her a C-rank self-destruct talent. She could obliterate everything within 10 meters once, but since their Eternal Traveler title granted everyone a single death immunity, she could actually activate this without dying. He called it a powerful trump card. Day 14. He signs in and selects the transit heart. With the blood moon over, the class levels up. They level up massively. He suggests building a shower, but Lin Ziyuan disagrees. She says it is not the priority. They must focus on bus upgrades first. He accepts her point and shelves the shower idea. Soon, the next service area appears. It is the Long Sea service area. The entry fee is 41 transit coins. He pays up and parks. Thankfully, a shower room is already available inside. Everyone cheers. He reminds them to return on time. Then, Lin Ziyuan tugs his sleeve. He asks her what is wrong. She points out someone she recognizes up ahead. It is Teacher Jiang, their class advisor, along with other faculty. She suggests he goes to see them, adding that they should only help Teacher Jiang. He rounds the corner of the service area to find the group of teachers. Teacher Jiang is cornered by her colleagues, who are shouting demands at her. They yell that she must message her students to demand their survival resources. The dean is particularly aggressive about forcing the students to pay up. He argues that her students are doing great and should share. After all, he claims student tuition funded the teachers, so they owe them. Talk about absolute shamelessness. They actually believe the students owe them. Teacher Jiang looks deeply uncomfortable, so Jiang Shaoying walks right over. The faculty turns on him immediately, trying to drag him into their logic. The dean argues that since he is the top-ranked driver, he must help. He claims their bus must have plenty of extra resources to hand over. Jiang Shaoying looks at him calmly, refusing to play along with the guilt trip. He tells him the top-ranked driver might just share his name and region. Another teacher snaps back, saying Jiang Shaoqing is not a common name. Since they are both in Region 6, there is no way it is a coincidence. The dean shifts tactics, suggesting they just merge their buses for efficiency. Jiang Shaoqing shoots that down, saying the faculty has no right to their gear. Merging buses is absolutely not happening, and they have zero right to any resources. He turns to teacher Jiang and invites her to join his bus instead. The furious dean yells that he is ungrateful, threatening his academic degree. He screams that he will have Jiang Shaoqing expelled when they get back. Jiang Shaoqing just laughs it off and tells him to check the global survival count. Over 60% of humanity is dead. His hollow threats mean nothing here. The argument ends quickly. He uses his panel to override their vehicle's driver. Their current driver, Hu Liming, loses his status. Li Wei is assigned instead. Next, Lu Xiaoying uses her mechanic talent to tear their bus apart. The greedy teachers panic and scatter. The level-headed ones leave quietly. Those who threw around useless threats now find themselves completely stranded. Teacher Jiang boards his bus safely, carrying nothing but her bare hands. She reveals her special talent, mind control. She can bend others to her will. It works on weaker monsters and players, but there is a catch. Anyone with higher constitution is totally immune, but she plans to train hard. Fast forward to day 16. His daily sign-in offers a lumberjack factory module. Worth 1,000 transit coins, he claims it without a single second thought. Soon, Lu Xiaofeng arrives to show off 13 newly made zombie frenzy agents. 12 hidden corpse grass plants harvested, but she ran completely out of strong acid and alcohol. She also mentioned pushing past her safe spirit power limits inside her workshop state, paying 150 spirit power points to unlock a new recipe. She warned him that dropping below 20 spirit power could trigger a dangerous berserk state. He urged caution, offering her the nourishing herbs to use freely. Her current recipes included the zombie virus serum and the berserker compound burning agent, basically a homemade incendiary grenade. Lin Chunan noticed the weather warming up rapidly, a sudden rebound after the blizzard. She was not optimistic, believing another major climate disaster was on the way, except it would be the exact opposite. Soon, the system announced their next stop, Rongyao Station, a passenger station filled with parasitic ghosts that possessed human bodies. Any player with over 150 spirit power was completely immune. He told everyone to quickly check their spirit power. Several classmates fell below that safe threshold, so he ordered them to stay on the bus. The parasitic ghost passengers boarded, their haunting presence clearly visible as a strange shimmer around them. Lin Chunan and he quickly handled and dispatched them before they reached the interior. But then, Lin Chunan revealed the next problem. Rongyao village itself had a parasitic ghost issue they had partially caused. Still, she pointed out he could profit from this without putting anyone in danger. Shen Tonger's iron puppet, completely immune to possession, could easily be sent in as a scout. She agreed immediately and linked her consciousness with the puppet. Ling Xuan watched through their shared visual feed. Inside the village, dozens of ghosts drifted through the houses, visible to the puppet but completely indifferent to it since it was not alive. The puppet swept room by room until in one structure it spotted a rare skill book on a table and a locked treasure chest nearby. It moved toward them, but the most powerful ghost in the building instantly reacted. It possessed a human body. When Shen Tonger's puppet reached out for the skill book, the ghost destroyed the construct. Shen Tonger came back to herself with a yelp. Lin Xuan asked her if she could construct another puppet, which she confirmed. He opened the global chat channel, asking if anyone had an item to attract powerful ghost entities. Player offered ghost candles, which attracted multiple spirit-type entities. The price was 1 zombie frenzy agent per candle. He traded for 4 candles. Shen Tonger sent her new puppet in, carrying a ghost candle. the moment it was lit, every ghost in the area swarmed toward it, leaving the skill book completely unguarded. The puppet snatched both the skill book and the treasure chest, pulling back right as the ghost rush began. A new skill acquired. Soul Extinction, White Silver low rank. It dealt devastating damage to spirit type entities and could also target a player's spirit power directly. Learning time 2 hours with a cooldown of 1 minute 30 seconds. He began learning it immediately. Lin Chu. Nan suddenly turned pale. She grabbed his arm, telling him to accelerate. Something had emerged from the village and was chasing them. It was the parasitic ghost, still possessing the human body it had claimed. According to Lin Xuan's assessment, the body's constitution exceeded 1,000 points, agility 500. They had roughly 6 hours. Teacher Jiang Yue said her mind control might work on it, but only for 1 or 2 seconds maybe. He quickly explained the plan. In 6 within hours, Lin Xuan would learn Soul Extinction. Meanwhile, they kept their distance. When the pursuer closed in, he would unleash Soul Extinction, while Teacher Jiang simultaneously supported him with mind control. Then, the bus shutdown hit during preparation, leaving 47 minutes of exposure. With that monster stalking them, they managed the power outage, fighting off the swarming zombies, who were then treated by Liu Xiao Chai. With her healing arts ready, they faced the ghost-possessed body together. Ready, Teacher Jiang seized its mind for a critical 2-second window. In that exact instant, Lin Xuan fired his Soul Extinction at full power. The ghost shrieked as the host body collapsed, eliminated by his strike. The system rewarded him with 1,500 transit coins. Lin Xuan then noticed a nearby chest and they stopped to open it. It held a gold rank pistol with infinite ammunition, the legendary yellow Golden Eagle handgun. He stared at it for a long moment, keeping it for himself before offering Yang Jack. Seeing the engraved knife that had also dropped from the chest, she accepted it in sheer disbelief, saying she had no way to repay him. He replied that her absolute dedication was more than enough. For day 17, he chose a special module activation card. The system announced the next station, Longjiang Arena Station. This was a forced challenge station, Tiandao forced 2 buses to compete in 5 one-on-one duels, best of 3 wins. 3 of the 5 fighters on each side were chosen at random by Tiandao. Each combatant's equipment was single-use, leaving losers to surrender or perish, he muttered. His disbelief, out of 41 classmates, Tiandao's random selection landed on him. Luo Xiao Chai and Li Jian. He told them to relax if opponents weren't far beyond them in constitution, there should not be a problem. He chose the remaining 2 slots for their side, himself and Li Ruyao. The order placed Luo Xiao Chai first. Everyone pooled their gear, and Li Ruyao lent her a gold rank handgun. Luo Xiao Chai claimed that with her eternal traveler's immunity, even a worst-case scenario would not be fatal. The enemy bus lined up opposite theirs, showing 5 fighters, 4 men and 1 woman. Their first fighter possessed a B-rank shape-shifting turtle talent, allowing him to become a humanoid turtle protected by hardened shell armor. Luo Xiao Chai stepped onto the platform. He transformed immediately. She calmly waited, raising her handgun to fire right through his shell. He staggered, so she fired twice more, shattering his shell completely. He tumbled off the platform. The class erupted into cheers. The enemy went silent. Next fight, their combatant used a flash step skill so fast, the opponent could not even locate him on the platform. While the enemy looked around, a heavy blow struck from behind. His weapon was snatched away for good measure. 3rd round, Teacher Jiang faced her opponent. He instantly raised a gun at her, but she used mind control, forcing his weapon to point directly at himself. Shaking and pale, he surrendered instantly. He was incredibly lucky to escape with his life after a brief standoff. Following that final match, the other side was unhappy but kept their agreement. Lin Xuan congratulated them on competing honorably and told them to go on their way. The system pinged in victory, giving every player 5 constitution and 10 spirit. And he walked away with 100 bronze-quality iron ingots as a personal bonus. The defeated bus driver sat in silence for a while before starting his vehicle. And driving off, Lin Xuan overheard bits of their conversation. Someone on their side was saying the guy from their bus was absolutely top tier, Lin Xuan's talent. Picked up a warning at a crossroads, 3 possible paths. Path 1 held a devouring type ghost of absolute nightmare scale. Path 2 led toward Hell Ancient Town, which they had visited before, but things had changed. A female ghost named Liu Wan Yang, a yellow-gold low-rank entity, waited there. She had apparently broken through to a higher tier of power. Path 3 promised 100 ghost procession. Someone asked if that was the wedding ghost they had delivered to the town before. He nodded. That was definitely her. The name on the village gate marker they approached had apparently changed to Liu Wanyang and Jiang Zioan. He stared at that shocking information for a long time. Someone muttered that the wedding candy from earlier might actually have been a betrothal gift. He chose path 2, better a known threat than a total mystery. Before heading in, he used the radio equipment he had acquired to eavesdrop on signals coming out of Helen Ancient Town. The intercepted messages were just ghosts gossiping. Someone was saying today was the town mistress's wedding day, and the groom was a human. Several voices expressed real interest in eating the human guests who had arrived. One cold voice above the rest hoped to meet her intended groom soon. After the wedding, she planned to kill him herself and refine his spirit into a ghost, so they could be together forever. Lin Xuan shared this with the class. Teacher Jiang immediately said she thought she could mind control the bride once they captured her. If she could work on her long enough, she might be able to turn her cooperative. The plan was to use a ghost binding rope to capture Liu Wanyang and drag her onto the bus. Then teacher Jiang would gradually work on her over several days. They entered the town carefully, avoiding the stronger ghost presences. A bronze-quality ghost elder blocked their initial path, but was handled quickly. They gathered useful supplies from several buildings along the way, including a skill book containing white-silver mid-rank ghost soul techniques. Scroll and then headed toward the central hall. Liu Wanyang appeared at the end of a corridor. Even after seeing her before, the transformation was striking. She was far more beautiful than when she had first boarded the bus, and her power aura felt much heavier. She greeted Lin Xuan with an unexpected phrase. She addressed him as her intended and asked if he was here to play a special game with her. Li Ruiyao quickly stepped to his side, telling the ghost quite directly that she was his woman, and the ghost was welcome to leave. Li Ruiyao's eyes went cold. The two exchanged words that grew heated incredibly fast, and then came to blows. Talk about a wild matchup. A white-silver rank human constitution went up against a yellow-gold rank ghost. They were actually evenly matched in the exchange, showing Lin Xuan exactly how far Li Ruiyao had grown. They managed to slip the ghost binding rope around Liu Wanyang at the perfect moment. She struggled, then stilled. Teacher Jiang took Liu Wanyang's leash and applied her mind control while they retreated to the bus. Liu Wanyang, half bound and glaring, demanded to know why Lin Xuan was doing this to her. She said she was trying to help him, but he told her he did not need her kind of help. She would remain on her bus until she came to her senses. Then, a new announcement came, revealing the Longdong Cooperation Station. 2 buses would be forced to work together in a 1-hour zombie slaughter. The system would allocate zombies based on bus capacity. Lin Xuan and flagged their incoming partner, a female driver with an S-rank talent, Ice Frost Master. Alongside her, a B-rank giant, and in a rank self-healing talent among her team. He recognized the name when it appeared, Su Maikai, Sexy Cockroach Bus. The other bus arrived. Su Maikai stepped out, looking younger than he had expected, and her composure was sharp. She said she had not expected him to be so young, apologizing for her past rudeness in the chat channel. He told her Not to worry about it, Luo Zio Shu told her they actually liked her. Straightforward energy, the cooperation challenge began, and zombies poured in from the access routes. He opened fire with the Golden Eagle, Sumaikai's ice powers. Froze zombies mid-charge, and the crunching sound of them shattering became a kind of rhythm. Their classmates moved with coordination developed over weeks of survival. A zombie dog leaped at Yang Jiazin. She was not hit, but it was close. He called for her to get to Luo Zio Shu. Then the giant zombie arrived, yellow gold low rank, Constitution 1900, Agility 18. He stared at the numbers. One shot from the Golden Eagle at full power did less than 1% damage. He called out its throat as the weak point. Teacher Jiang locked it in place with mind control for 2-second windows. Su Maikai froze it. Li Royal and Jiang Qi both hit the wild ramming technique simultaneously on its knees. Every frozen moment was used by multiple people to land critical hits. The cycle continued, freeze, stagger, strike, until the giant zombie finally crumpled. Sumaikai tried to claim the kill for the final blow, but Lin Chu and spoke first and claimed the yellow gold chest for their side. Sumaika laughed after a moment and said she deserved that. System, Bus Ping and took first place in the cooperation station. Reward, 5 Constitution, 2 Stamina, 10 Spirit Power per person. He received a ghost restraint rope. Sumaikai got second place results. She was gracious about it. He offered to trade. They had an Ice Element module card that significantly boosted Ice-type damage. It was perfectly suited for her talents. In exchange, she offered 40 hidden quartz grass seeds, other plant seeds, and a ticket to a garden, a special location with games and rewards. He accepted. The seeds went to the lumberjack factory he had installed, and the garden ticket he tucked away for later. Sumaika asked one last question before her bus left. Was she really being recruited, or was that Lin Chu and Anne's idea? He told her it had been his thought. She thanked him but declined. She was her class's driver and would not abandon them, but she said the invitation was open if anything changed. They parted on genuinely good terms. Using the radio equipment later, he overheard Su Maikai's bus chatting. One of her classmates was criticizing him, saying the guy from their bus was nothing special and had only been lucky with his talent. Su Maikai cut them off sharply and said he was a valuable partner and ally, and anyone who spoke that way about him again would be removed. He upgraded the bus too. After pooling their materials, the bus hits level 7, unlocking a new defense feature. Now the vehicle can ram straight through ghost-type enemies without taking damage. Plus, the inside has expanded once again, easily fitting over 100 people. They use their garden ticket to teleport. Waiting for them is an ethereal old gentleman. Calm eyes, deliberate movements. He welcomes the group as the garden master. Since this is the traveler's first visit, the host explains his simple 3-game rule. Total wins dictate the final rewards. Lose, and there is still no penalty. Just less loot. Game 1 is Seed Bomb, featuring exactly 100 seeds. The garden master hides a single bomb seed. The protagonist can draw as many as desired. Each safe pick stacks up their points, but hit the bomb and everything is wiped out. Lin Chu Anan steps forward to play first. The protagonist nods in approval. Slowly she begins choosing seeds, her eyes locked on the garden master's face. Searching for any slight tell, she watches his expression after every move. The old man flatly tells her that he will not offer any hints. At 50 seeds, she hesitates. The host immediately raises the stakes to tempt her. 2 extra points per seed now, rising to 20 with 30 seeds left. Still, Lin Chu Anan presses on. Down to 15 seeds, danger spikes high. Now each pull is worth 100 points, a massive gamble. 1 in 15 odds are too risky for that price. She firmly says no. Only 2 seeds left. He offers 300 points, a 50-50 chance. The classmates are totally split. Half scream to stop, the others want her to push. Lin Chu Anan takes a quiet breath, reaches out and pulls. Safe, not the bomb. The host dangles 500 points for the final seed, but she wisely declines. Walking away with 1,300 points, the crowd finally breathes. Game 2, Monster vs. Zombie. Viable units battle waves of undead. They carefully position their fighters over 10 minutes of intense tactical combat. When the dust settles, their score completely smashes the Garden Master's predictions. Looking mildly surprised, the host promises the payout will reflect this feat. Then the system announces Game 3, Cruel Choice. Starting with 10 points, all 42 people get extra points if someone is sacrificed. The protagonist stares at the Garden Master. They will not play this game. The host seems neither shocked nor upset, accepting their choice quite calmly. Philosophically, he notes he is just a host, not the designer. Tyne Dao crafted these rules. The protagonist nods, noting his job is entertainment. With 2 games played and won, they request their hard-earned rewards. Sorting through his ledger, the Garden Master hands over an absolute fortune. Weapons, rare skill books, building materials, and stat boosters rain down. They feel genuinely rich. The host invites them to stay and rest. Thanking him, they choose to move on instead, hitting the road once more. Approaching the 50-kilometer mark, Lin Chu-anan spots a brand new danger. A burning corpse ghost, yellow gold midrank, blocks the highway ahead. Get ready because its power can force their entire bus to shut down completely. Medium difficulty, but the payout is massive. The protagonist decides to fight. Bypassing it is pointless, as it will simply hunt them down later anyway. Teacher Jiang agrees, warning that her mind control won't hold it for long. A massive power gap, but she could buy a brief window. They stop the bus at the ghost's location. The burning corpse's ghost appeared instantly, wreathed in silent, roaring flames. It stared at them with hollow eyes. He raised the golden eagle while Teacher Jiang stepped up. She unleashed a pulse of mind control, lasting maybe 1 or 2 seconds. He fired soul extinction instantly. As the ghost staggered, it shattered into a cascade of light. The system chimed with a confirmation. Target eliminated. Rewards, 2 constitution and 2 spirit power. Plus 2 stamina, 10 spirit power for every passenger, and a brand new title. Ghost Barrier Breaker. His constitution was now 544. Agility 279, spirit power nearing 2300. Lin Xuan stepped closer. She pointed directly toward a strange object lying near the ghost's fading remains. He walked over. A folded letter lay on the ground. He opened it, and the first line stopped him. It was a record of the ghost's own voice during its last coherent moments of life. It described being a human once, a player just like them. It detailed the slow, agonizing loss of memories and the way humanity slowly slipped away. Eventually, the dark instincts of the ghost took over. The final 2 lines were chilling. They revealed a pure, monstrous reflex to burn and spread its terrible condition to the living. This letter was never written by hand. It manifested spontaneously upon death, like a spiritual residue. It was a trace of the person who once lived. He stood staring at it in silence. He shared the contents with Lin Xuan, and she fell completely silent. They had been hunting ghosts. Since day one, he never realized these monsters were once human, still holding onto broken memories. He folded the letter up and tucked it away when they finally returned to the bus. Teacher Jiang met him right at the entrance. She had some urgent news for him. Liu Wanyang had cooperated completely since last night and wanted to speak with him directly. He found Liu Wanyang sitting quietly in her usual corner of the bus when he approached. She looked up at him. For the first time since her capture, all hostility was gone. Her expression was entirely calm. She promised she would stop trying to force him to join. He sat down right across from her, nodding in agreement. It was a good start. He asked what her plans were now. She quietly replied that she wanted to stay with them. She could not change what she had become, but she could still choose how to act. With that, she extended her hand, revealing a mysterious bracelet resting in her open palm. The translucent jade-like bracelet had a slow, pulsing light cycling through it. She offered it to him. When he asked what it did, she explained its unbelievable effect. Once worn, his spirit power would be permanently locked in and capped at its absolute maximum. Every other combat attribute would begin doubling daily with absolutely no limit. He stared at the bracelet, then at her, completely stunned. He asked why she was doing this. She simply smiled. If she could not have him, she at least wanted to ensure his survival. He accepted the bracelet and slid it onto his wrist. The moment it settled, everything changed. The air shifted. A deep, resonant hum vibrated directly through his raw spirit power. Something deep within his system interface began to emit a blinding, golden glow. Outside, the weather turned. A soft, steady rain began to fall, the very first rainfall he had witnessed in this world. The girls gathered near the bus windows fell silent, watching the water streak down the glass. He settled back into the driver's seat, staring out into the dark road ahead. The path was still straight, pointing toward an unknown destination, but they were still moving forward. After Liu Wan Yang handed over the bracelet and pledged her existence, she finally began to explain. She revealed the true, terrifying potential of her low-grade gold spiritual gear. Could do, the red bridal gown absorbed spiritual damage and projected a special skill. Called Red Veil Bewitchment, stunning any fierce ghost weaker than gold-grade status. For 3 seconds, the red bridal veil on her head fired a red light beam that dealt high spiritual damage. Both items had a 5-minute cooldown. When she possessed him, they manifested on his body, letting him use them. The girls were impressed. Lu Wenyang was so pleased, she immediately referred to herself as one of his wives in front of everyone. Li Ryuya's smile instantly tightened. Lin Zhu Ying quietly guided the others away. They were still on the road during the second blood moon night, the bus crushing night demons at high speed. Then Song Zuyi, one of the quietest girls in Lin Zhu Ying's group, suddenly stood up and walked toward the window in a daze. Her shoulder cracked as Li Ryuya tried pulling her back. Her arm was on the verge of tearing off. Lin Chuan shouted that a soul-snatching ghost was on the glass, a face luring in anyone who held its gaze for 1 second. Late mother flew up, spotting it on a rear window, stunned it with the bridal gown's red light, and dragged it inside. He crushed the ghost with his ghost hand. 3,000 points dropped into the bus account. Lin Chuan quickly did the math. The ghost converted its victims into copies of itself, which meant a single ghost in an unprepared classroom could wipe out an entire bus. By morning, he posted a warning to the world chat: drive with high mental strength players for the rest of the night, and do not make eye contact with any face on any window. An old contact from the first day, Huang Xiaoya, replied saying her bus was being knocked on with a polite, rhythmic sound. Lin Chuan could not investigate through a screen, and her station turned out to be the fierce ghost graveyard. He had nothing to give her. He kept the points climbing by, throwing pus packets at the bus's left and right armor. Lin Chuan's idea to stack the night demons evenly on both sides. Several silver zombies dropped on the way, and a great fireball skill book dropped from one of them. He gave it to Sister Jiang, since her telekinesis would let her easily steer the fireball. The system flagged a passenger stop ahead, Longyu Lake Station. The incoming passenger was a ghost called the Rain Woman, gold grade in water and silver supreme everywhere else, who needed to be delivered to Longyu Lake within 45 minutes. Lin Chuan said she had her own goals and would not attack them if they behaved. She boarded barefoot, soaking wet, and stared at him longer than at anyone else. Before sitting down and going completely still, Lu Wenyang tried to make small talk and was told to scram. 40 minutes later, they reached the lake shore and she walked straight into the water. As she dissolved, the system paid out 300 bus coins, 1,000 points, and a special piece of gear called Heart of the Rain Woman. It was a blue heart-shaped pendant of gold high-grade, summoning 3 Rain Woman avatars on a 1-hour cooldown each, every avatar a gold low-grade ghost in her own right, lasting 10 minutes, for 1,000 mental strength on a 72-hour cooldown. He could even summon her true body for 10 minutes. Lin Chuan then gave him the second piece of news, 2 gold grade giant zombies plus dozens of high-quality silver zombies sleeping quietly at the bottom of the lake. The water suppressed any physical creature below silver level. He would lose tens of. Leaving thousands of points behind was out of the question. He summoned his 3 avatars, asked permission to clear the lake, and let his mother possess him. Bone-chilling cold, his mental strength instantly spiked from 2200 to over 2700, letting his body float like an avatar. Sinking fast, they dove into the lake where giant zombies lay completely motionless. He blasted the first monster's head using his bridal veil's beam, while his spirits crushed the second, with both dropping silver supreme chests. With precious time left, he used his corpse burning lighter to incinerate them. Golden ghost fire consumed the lake until the water smothered the flames. Then the system chimed to inform him that he had earned a point of curse. This dangerous new attribute increases encounters with fierce ghost passengers and roadblocks. Reach 100 and they upgrade a tier, definitely worth tracking. Inside his head, his late mother's voice purred, asking him to elope. Stay at the lake bottom forever, she teased. Still, he kept swimming upward. Eventually, she admitted it was just a joke, and she never took control. She lied, he was not laughing. Once the 10 minutes expired, she left. He gave her a freezing glare. Instantly, she threw herself into his arms. Sobbing, she swore she would never joke like that again, pleading desperately. She pledged in her most binding voice to obey her husband forever. Next, those chests yielded an ultimate gold teleportation scroll. This single-use item instantly snaps him and nearby passengers to his bus. He also found 2 skill books for Li Real and Jane Keck, and a gold low-grade golden AK-47 featuring completely unlimited, infinite ammo. He kept the rifle. And his unlocked iron ingot synthesis table, immediately listing the resource on the trading market at 4 bus coins each, drastically undercutting everyone. Talk about a massive payday, over 100,000 coins flooded in by morning. They held world number 1 for exactly 2 hours, until Major General Li Lushan's squad leaped past them with a huge point spike. Far off on a fog-covered stretch of highway, S-rank user Li Jun boasted 200 starting constitution and 100 starting mental strength. His deputy Wu Gang used an A-rank radar, letting him fire a beam of golden light through the fog to pierce a hidden ghost. Hiding among countless clones, his passengers were the sick, elderly, and sleeping children, refugees other buses rejected, but right after. His own bus suddenly stalled, lights went out, and the fuel gauges died completely. Having used his ignition hours ago, he turned to his passengers with bloodshot eyes. The screen shifts. Our lead lights a candle to intentionally attract fierce monsters, keeping his point total climbing higher and higher. 3 soul-snatching ghosts attacked, but they crushed them easily. Lin Xuan warned him about an upcoming ghost roadblock near a passenger station. 10 kilometers ahead, both holding gold-grade threats, a flying head blocked the roadblock, while a creepy drowned ghost haunted the nearby station. He sent 2 rain woman avatars up the dark road to clear both. They returned with a soaked black raincoat that buffs mental strength, while inside liquid, making it useless for him but perfect for his spirits. Her avatar before it dissolved. Smiling, she took it and vanished into a puddle. Lin Xuan later explained that the rain woman was too embarrassed to ask, but secretly really wanted that raincoat. Favorability up, passing through the roadblock zone, the bus still stalled even with the ghost already dead. Lin Xuan quickly realized that the road segment itself caused the stall, not the ghost. The stall lasted only 7 minutes, well under their 20-minute safety window. And they coasted through thanks to Lu Xiao Ying's repair speed. He traded his last sticks of ghost-repelling incense to Lin Bufin, an S-rank ghost master who could mass-produce supernatural items with a template, trading for 2 more ghost Candles and kept farming. In the back, Wang Jiachi was working on Yang Jiaxin, telling her the rest day was coming and warning her to confess her feelings to him. Before Luo Zioxi or Chen Tonger did, or else she would lose. Right then, the system. Reading the room helpfully posted an internal popularity ranking. Lin Xuan, Li Royal, late mother, and Liu Xiaofeng hit 100 points. Liu Xiaoying had 99. Jiang Keek got 97. Luo Zioxiu and Yang Jiaxin got 96. Wang Jiachi 95. Su Yuir and Sister Jiang sat at 93. Chen Tonger at 92. Even Rain Woman hit 90. Yang Jiaxin spent the rest of the night gathering her courage. By the time the sun rose and the second blood moon ended, they had 156,000 points. Guard the Great Wall placed second with 93,000. Seagull Task Force took third at 75,000. Global survival rate was 56%. About 1 billion people died over the night. But the Heavenly Tao insisted that was 4% better. Talk about cruel. Calibration. Then, the massive regional rewards arrived in a single bundle. 50 attribute points, 10 special points, and 20 inventory slots for every passenger. And extra 10 minutes of stall safety, 20 total now. 10 B-rank fragments, 1S rank fragment in 1 B-rank talent upgrade card, 9 luck for him, and a 50% boost to his weakest stat. 2 random passengers also drew new talents. The first was Yin Shi with an A-rank life steal recovery talent, healing 2% on every weapon hit, doubled below half health, plus a temporary maximum health buff. The second was Su Yuir, receiving a D-rank ragdoll cat. She could turn into a small white cat or just grow ears and a tail. Pretty useless. Then the world updated and chasing monsters now ran 50 kilometers an hour instead of 40. Any non-player who stayed on a bus for 24 hours and acknowledged the driver became a passenger. Dungeon zones would start appearing, and areas merged in groups of 100. They joined the new region 1100 and their new luck stat. Scaled in segments, 1/10 of a point per ordinary point, a crawl after the first 100. He had every passenger spend their special points on luck, with Liu Xiaofeng and sister Jiang put on mental strength duty instead. Total fleet luck reached 123. Wang Jiachi opened the B-rank fragments and got cooldown. Refresh, she could reset any visible skill cooldown on the bus, including bus functions like ignition and repulsion, but her own cooldown doubled. To match the refreshed skill, refreshing ignition for 72 hours benched her for 6 full days. They banked the B-rank upgrade card. The account stood at 160,000. Bus coins, he spent the rest day stripping and rebuilding. Bus armor jumped from manganese steel platinum to diamond grade, adding heat resistance and lightning protection. Tires went diamond. Energy usage dropped 100% in top. Speed climbs by 10 kilometers per hour. Windows turn into diamond glass, invisible from outside, yet clear from within. Suspension and brakes go gold. 2 submachine gun modules join the 4 plants and 2 shooting platforms on the roof. The bus level itself jumps to level 8, measuring 100 meters by 25, with 3 full floors featuring the 3rd floor dimensional space. Top speed is 140, durability 80, and 20 minutes of stall safety. Boom. The upgrade drops a steel synthesis table blueprint plus a new bus function called repulsion on a 12-hour cooldown that knocks everything back. Every passenger gets 10 free attribute points, and he buys 24 new bedrooms. Every classmate, his late mother, and the 3 female tyrants get their own private upgraded room. Big upgrade. Level 4 for the talented, level 3. Otherwise, level 6 goes to Liu Xiaofeng for her potions, and level 1 for the unfilled 50th slot in case someone interesting boards later. 4 shower rooms go upstairs, along with 2 laundry rooms containing washers and drying rooms. Central air conditioning doubles as a dehumidifier. He installs ergonomic seats, stacking 10% recovery for stamina and mind, a gold-grade sleeper for the driver's chair. Chen Tong-er receives her large steel puppet, wrapped in 2 layers of black Iron armor, a silver weapon, gold grade overall strength, and 10 silver iron ingots. Inside for self-repair, Xiao Ying's weekly modification this round allows him to choose fuel tank expansion, hybrid device level 2, or a 5-point durability boost. He takes hybrid device level 2 to cut fuel consumption in half. Adding 3 hand-cranked generators for cloudy days, work duty. The female tyrants each receive a generator. Honestly, cranking gives them something to do. Meanwhile, Liu Xiaofeng's new weekly recipe is a supreme silver-grade adrenaline potion. It ignores pain plus 30% constitution and 20% attack speed for 10 minutes. No side effects made. From 10 stalks of refreshing grass, 10 stalks of strength grass, and 2 energy cores. Sumaikai's seed library luckily includes strength grass, so they sow both in the logging factory. He refreshes the permanent station, and the tavern reappears as the UXC Tavern. The blonde owner remains, wearing a gold cheongsam. Today, her eyes sharp, she catches him looking at her bottles and proposes a real wager, double or nothing, 5 times the reward if he beats her solo this final time. He accepts, draining 100 bottles of Black Night Vision wine before his title of 1,000 cup drunkard kicks the alcohol straight through him, watching her hit the bar at bottle 230. She forces herself sober afterward, keeping her promise 1,500 bottles to take home, plus her name, Shindro Mayan, putting the wine into storage. He sleeps. She is the local administrator, left entirely alone at the station for 2 years. Lin Chuan watches the exchange and informs him much later that he should not visit Shindro Mayan every single day. She is lonely if he comes too often. She will serve garbage wine. If he visits every other day, she will bring out the good stock to keep him coming back. The trick is to make her wait. A man in District 12 named Zio long tries to assemble a 4-bus convoy of S-tier players in their merged region. He politely invites him to join under his command. Total silence. The world chat cackles at him. Meanwhile, his contact Sue Mike messages him not long after. Her bus had been hit by a ghost roadblock during the blood moon. After 2 long stalls, only 5 girls are left out of 40. She wants to come aboard with what remains. He checks with the class, and their only reservation is about strange men, but there were no men left on her bus. He told her to meet them at the next service area. They rolled into the UXC service area at noon. Acid rain still kept the parking lots empty. Li Ru Yao and Lin Chuan were eating in the food hall when a ragged group of abandoned passengers, old, sick, and missing limbs, tossed off other buses, approached and asked to be taken aboard. Lin Chuan refused them in a voice that left no room. The ones who abandoned them were their own drivers. The thing threatening their survival was this world. They had already lived a long life, telling them not to take from those who had not. They left without arguing. The food tasted like nothing for a while afterward. Yang Jackson pulled him aside near the bus mall and confessed. She said her dirty jokes and the snapping fingers and all the pointed glances had been a campaign for his attention since the start of the semester, and she was scared he had written her off. He told her he never had, pulled her into his arms and accepted. She pulled him into the hotel. Yin Shi, whom he had asked to wait while buying her skill book at the bus mall, watched the kiss in horror, genuinely thinking he was inviting both of them upstairs. The skill book he bought her was bloody Battle Silver mid-grade, doubled max health with a 50% attack speed and 30% healing buff with a 15-minute duration. When Yin She used it due to life steal stacking. In the arena lobby, a woman in a gray shirt and black stockings, gold supreme blade S-rank swordsmanship grandmaster with 10-fold blade damage, challenged him to a friendly bet for 5,000 bus coins. Her name was Yiwan Singh. She was a department manager from a real-world office, and she had no idea who she was looking at. He let her swing first, used flash, and choked her with a ghost hand. From behind, she surrendered at the second squeeze and threw in a skill book called Yin Yang Reversal, Silver Supreme Grade. A player with a buff talent could Activate it to invert any allied stat increase into a double debuff on. Enemies cooled on 15 minutes, required stamina cost doubled 2 and tailor-made. For Yang Jackson, back in the hotel, he gave Yang Jackson both the B rank. Upgrade card and yin-yang reversal at the same time, her constitution buff. Promoted to a rank attribute buff, constitution, stamina, and agility went up by 50 with 20 more per 100 constitution gained, plus 10% damage reduction. Useful for him, useful for Li Rao, and useful for everyone, stacking it with yin. Yang reversal, she could blast 100 points off an enemy's constitution, and add 20% damage on top. For drivers and percentage boost players, the effect would be catastrophic. Sumeji's bus pulled up at the lot entrance. 5. Girls climbed out into the rain. Sumachi, S-rank ice element with an ice element module card stacked on top, a gold mid-grade elemental coat boosted her elemental damage by 60% or 120% for elemental talent. Users and a gold high-grade elemental spirit staff, doubling as a spirit tool. Against ghosts, Lindsay handed B-rank Gigantification, just like Jiang Keek. Gao. Lan, the tall one, had a rank self-healing, recovering 20% per second. Yan Rong, the short one, had a strategist brain, alongside Zhao Jingyu with the twin tails. Lu. Zhao Ying decomposed Sumachi's bus on the spot. The entire vehicle vanished and turned into a single bus heart, their fifth. Sumachi handed over 30,000 bus coins from her balance. They drove away as a group. Over the next 24 hours, the bus. He quietly registered his late mother, the 3 female tyrants, and Su Maikai's group. They were now official passengers, making his mother so happy she almost wept. Su Maikai kept her special driver privilege, which doubled her overall constitution. This concession from the Heavenly Tao rewarded her for keeping 4 passengers safe. During the bus wipeouts, she protected them. He then split the 51 passengers into 10 groups, his own, Li Royal, Lu Zioing, Jiang Keek, Lin Zianan, Su Maikai's sister Jiang's with his late mother, and the tyrants, Luo Zioxi's with Su Yuir, Yang Jackson, Wang Jiaki, Chen Tonger, then the groups of Li Zhen, Lu Shiyu, Wu Dandan, Zhou Qingqing, Zhao Yuding, and finally Yang Shengnan. The first 3 groups were the strongest, but the weaker ones desperately needed cultivation to survive. Survival during the upcoming blood moon depended on it. Highway, the pouring rain began to clear as the system flagged a new station. A mandatory multi-eyed ghost dungeon. A black vortex appeared, leading into a massive mining cave. Lin Zianan rated it medium, easy for him, pure poison for others. These humanoid fierce ghosts were absolutely terrifying, completely covered in creepy eyeballs that drained mental strength instantly, and the cave was packed with them. They ranged from bronze to gold high-grade. Inside, precious azure resources awaited. Spirit stones, silver stones, and gold ore lined the walls, while Lin Zianan, Lei Royal, and the others mined near the entrance. He ventured deeper with Su Maikai, who kept her eyes shut, holding his hand, guided by his late mother. Waves of ghosts swarmed from the walls. Su Maikai froze them solid while he shattered them, using his golden AK and ghost hand, but the gold high-grade boss never actually showed up. The cave was simply too deep for Lin Zianan. Her divine hint could not reach it, but her gut said to ask the Rain Woman. Directly, he sacrificed 1,000 mental strength points to summon the Rain Woman's true body. She appeared almost shy as she materialized, offering her help on one condition. If anyone ever bullied her in the future, he had to protect her. He promised to help her regardless, making her smile warmly, dimples and all. Long Eye Lake water began to pour directly into the cave from her hands. The magical water instantly suppressed every single multi-eyed ghost it touched, and she tracked the boss to the depths, killing it with a single umbrella stab. She returned with a treasure chest and 4 scarlet ghost eyeballs, he told her. To keep 2 as her reward. Gratefully, she smiled once more and dissolved into a puddle. His late mother possessed him again. He cleared out every suppressed monster. Suddenly, a massive server-wide announcement echoed through the area. The first regional dungeon clear rewarded them with a gold ultimate skill book. This allowed the user to swap constitution and mental strength with a 10-second cooldown and a hard cap of 2,000. This was perfect for Lee Royal, who previously struggled against ghosts due to her low mental strength. Now she could easily swap stats and slaughter ghosts at will, kissing him in pure excitement. The cave hall was huge, featuring 4,000 iron ingots and hundreds of bronze, dozens of silver, 600 azure stones, and nearly 100 silver ones. These resources, along with 13 gold spirit stones, were exactly what they needed to upgrade their survival bus to level 9, plus about 700 ghost eyeballs. The tyrant equipped a gold-grade eyeball in each socket, triggering a sudden burst of. She went golden, upgrading her quality outright. Constitution 1200, Agility 400, Stamina 400, Mental 500, plus a ghost eye consuming 300. Mental, stunning anyone below Platinum for 3 seconds on a 1-minute cooldown. The other two female tyrants received silver ghost eyes. Chen Tonger's puppet got a golden eye, with everyone wearing 2 layers of black iron armor, and this female tyrant wearing 3 with a slight agility hit. Their melee front had become catastrophically dangerous. On the trading market, he sold the spare ghost eyes for 10,000. Asked about side effects, the buyer told him afterward that swapping eyes hurt like hell. He gained 150 mental and partial spiritualization on his weapon, but added 1 curse per eyeball to his. Curses are nothing, he laughed. Seriously, this guy is built different. He treated curse like a feature, not a bug. That was a clue. Lin Bufin bought another stick of incense in trade. The synthesizer cycled. 400 coins became thousands. That night, late mother stopped him at her bedroom door, looking small. She had made up her mind. She was his wife and wanted to be a wife-in every sense. He asked if she was sure. She said yes. The others were just girlfriends. If girlfriends could, a wife could too. Her body was cold and weightless. The next morning, she was still calling him husband with a small flush of color in her face. He had to remind her that Lee Royal was her elder sister, not a junior. She conceded reluctantly, only when he mentioned the ghost binding rope. Yan Rong, the strategist of Su Meiji's group, showed up at Su Meiji's door that same night and bluntly told her that intimacy with him was the path to inner circle resources, that Lu Xiao Feng and Lu Xiao Ying had been cultivated past anyone with similar talent for the same reason, and that she was wasting her chance. Su Meiji hesitated, so did Wang Jiachai. Alone in her room, looking jealously at Yang Jiaozin, who was bragging next door, so did Sister Jiang, pacing alone, holding the ghost binding rope, walking past late mother's door several times before turning back, so did Chen Tonger. Alone on night watch, talk about oblivious, on his second visit to Qin Rong Mayan on Lin Xiu Nan's prescribed every other day rhythm. Qin Rong Mayan was visibly relieved that he had come back at all. She had waited the entire previous day. She brought out 5 organs vitality wine, golden, enhancing organ function and adding 2 constitution, capping at 20. He drank 115 bottles before she fell over the bar. She gave him 500 bottles to take home. He gave a bottle each to the human classmates. For late mother, Lin Xiu Nan suggested using the ghost binding rope to materialize her, then feeding her a bottle. The constitution gain converted into mental strength, gain on the way back into spirit form, 2 points each, a useful loophole. Mid-afternoon in the rain, a stalled bus blocked the road. Ragged players outside waved for help. Lin Xiu Wan saw the firearms stuffed into their backpacks and told them not to use. Repulsion, their driver was Lin Xin, with an A-rank bus Bane talent doubling the attribute points, and bus hearts dropped from any bus she wiped out, and that detected distance to the nearest bus. She was paired with another A-rank vehicle mastery partner, allowing one of her crew to consume bus hearts too. They had been pirating since the start, unloading everything they had, including RPGs and rifles. But the diamond armor did not even chip. 2 roof guns and 4 corpse eating. Plants mowed half of them down, while Su Maikai froze the survivors right there. They could not even reach their bus. Lin Xin tried to surrender, offering herself. She claimed her special talent would be useful if he spared her. Instead, he crushed her head with his ghost hand. They finished the rest, the system rewarded their flawless victory with 5 attribute points each. The enemy bus became ownerless and decomposed, giving 60 bus coins and 1 bus heart, making their 6th one. Their backpacks held 30 Desert Eagles, 13 rifles, 7 carbines, and 5 infinite ammo. Gold-grade Gatling guns, 3 infinite ammo gold-grade rocket launchers, plus a gold mid-grade permanent blueprint for universal bullets that consumed raw iron. Ingots instead of casings, 500 units of cold storage meat and fresh vegetables also came with it. They had clearly looted a station armory. He distributed the rocket launchers to Liu Xiaofeng, Liu Xiaoying, and Liu Xiao. Zai Gatling guns went to Yang Jiashan, Wang Jiachai, Sister Jiang, Chen Tonger, and Su Yuir. Rifles and pistols went to everyone else. He bought 13 shooting platforms for the roof, making 15 total with 30 slots, letting the group cycle through target practice on night demons. The girls eagerly fought for spots. The rain was tapering. Lin Xuan said it would clear by morning, the next. But wait, there was no time to celebrate this quiet victory. A mandatory post-station cooperative mission forced them to choose 6 members. They had to retrieve a critical letter alongside another mysterious vehicle called Ghost, driven by Han Wenxiang, who held an S-rank curse. Any of his dead passengers turned into vicious spirits with high mental strength based on their living stats and their normal skills, converted to spirit skills, costing 1/10 of a curse point per spirit. His bus already had 4 curse points, with 40 of the 90 souls on board being ghosts. Lin Xuan intercepted their radio signals before they arrived, sharing the dark details in chat. The difficult mission only allowed 6 members per side. Han Wenxiang paled, pulling out rows of pitch-black ghost dentures, eating 5 of his own ghost passengers alive with his dark ability. They screamed for him to stop, but he devoured them anyway. The dentures gave him a massive temporary mental strength boost from each consumed spirit, lasting for 1 hour with heavy side effects. The protagonist chose Lin Xuan, Su Maikai, and Late Mother, while the system randomly assigned Wang Jiazi and Lu Wei. Their driver was a mysterious, sunglass-wearing administrator who answered no questions, leading them through a strange portal into a fog-dimmed mist forest. This thick, cold fog immediately drained a tiny fraction of their health every second, a grim preview of the upcoming fog disaster. Soon, the first wave of ghost willow branches dropped down from the invisible trees above. Lin Xuan instantly one shot the core branch with her golden pistol. 300 willow branches remained harvestable. Han Wenxiang suggested they split up, and he agreed. Han single-use ghost pointing needle, bought from Chu Chi in trade for 6 captured chain ghosts. They stepped forward into a dark locust tree grove. Red ghost robes suddenly drop from the trees above. He catches 5 using his ghost hand. A 6th robe lands directly in Late Mother's hand. Lin Xuan explains the situation. This main rope is the core weapon, while the others are just copies. It is Late Mother's exclusive gear, hanging anything with under 1,000 mental strength. It drains 500 mental points from stronger foes and can be upgraded further. Since she is a bride-class ghost, the weapon automatically jumps up 1 tier. She stares into the quiet woods, muttering that the place feels strangely familiar. She hands the rope over to him, but he immediately gives it back. Some weapons just belong to their true owner. Deep inside lies a dark graveyard. The target letter is pinned to the center tomb. Lin Xuan warns of danger. A gold ultimate grade Mist Woman clone will spawn the moment he touches it. Dozens of chain ghosts lurking in the surrounding tombstones will immediately ambush him. There is no turning back now. Late Mother possesses him for battle. He grabs the letter. Instantly, the pale mist woman materializes right behind him. Armed with a dagger, she teleports instantly. He leaps up, but she follows. He grips her neck with a charged ghost hand, using the bridal veil. He stuns her with bewitchment, unleashing a soul-extinguishing attack. A powerful beam shatters her head, dropping a rare platinum-grade treasure chest. It is the first platinum chest he has ever seen. The ground suddenly explodes. Hundreds of chain ghosts rise. Sumeji's freeze skill is on cooldown, but Wang Jiaki resets the timer. Sumeji freezes the entire graveyard in one massive strike. The mental strain nearly knocks her unconscious. He throws her on his back to run. They slash through scattered enemies, meeting Han Wencheng's team back at the mail coach. Han survived, but 4 of his teammates perished, turning into ghostly passengers. Among the dead is Chen Wei, the guy who doubted their plans earlier. During the trip back, Lin Xuan uses her divine hint skill on the silent driver. Though she cannot read him fully, she manages to catch fragmented thoughts. He is thinking about how this mist forest is only one of many disaster zones. The next disaster after the rain will not be fog quite yet. Fog is far too lethal to release now. These letters act as triggers. The driver goes quiet. They receive a massive reward of 10,000 coins. Along with the cash, he earns the elite mail carrier Ferryman title. He can run weekly missions with his own chosen crew and bus. Han gets a lesser title mail pioneer, giving him 1 extra slot. They deliver the mail. Han Wensheng suggests taking down the silent driver early, but he refuses. He has not betrayed them yet. Back home, he invests 8,000 bus coins for a gold quality kitchen, spanning 50 square meters with 3 refrigerators. It has induction cookers, ovens, basic seasonings, and 10 dining tables. Wu Dandan is the dorm chef and her entire crew can cook. She takes charge eagerly. She practically runs upstairs. Upgrading the kitchen yields 10 bags of rice daily. A bag of salt comes next, combined with 50 hens from his latest reward. They now get 100 eggs daily, kept in a soundproof farming module. They finally have a stable food supply in this ruined world, the platinum chest from the mist woman cracks open to reveal an incredible new item. It is a platinum-grade vehicle blueprint for an armored iron rider. The motorcycle features a built-in shield that inherits 70% of the bus armor. It scales with Constitution, featuring a built-in MP5, twin seats, and 5 driver slots. Fortunately, Liu Shaoying, their A-rank mechanic, could easily craft the vehicle for free. An hour later, the server announces Region 1's very first non-bus vehicle. This achievement pushes his title count to 7, awarding him God of Racing. It grants absolute mastery of any vehicle. He immediately assigns the bike slots. He registers Liu Shaoying, Li Royal, and Lin Shunan, keeping 1 slot open. He envisions Lin Shunan scouting ahead with Divine Hint while Li Royal drives. Meanwhile, Wu Dandan serves her first dinner, golden egg fried rice and fresh stir-fry. The meal includes sliced beef and savory pork. He tells his group to eat. He asks his wives to excuse him so he can keep sister Jiang company. Lin Shunan winks, and Li Royal gives him her usual resigned look. She always looks like that when handing him over to another wife. Liu Shaofeng, Liu Shaoying, and Jiang Keek sit in stunned, silent disbelief. As the rain clears, late mother sits beside him at the driver's wheel. She remains dead silent, refusing to say a word about anything strange. Yet just past the horizon, the next terrifying disaster is already brewing. Sitting there, Sister Jiang lasts only 3 minutes before assuming he is flirting. In reality, she has been flustered over their breakfast for hours. He only wanted to keep her company, but she immediately gets flustered. She stammers that a relationship between a counselor and student is inappropriate. It is obvious she has already played out the entire romance in her head. He gently tells her she is overthinking things, turning her face bright red. She stays completely silent. Meanwhile, Lin Shunan watches the whole dramatic display. Using Divine Hint, she bites her lip to hold back her laughter. Later, Liu Shaiying takes him upstairs for the motorcycle's weekly mechanic upgrades. On the armored Iron Rider, he can choose explosive bullet combustion, igniting up to 5 targets, or choose heavy piercing bullet penetration. He chooses combustion, spending 11,000 bus coins and 10 burning potions. This turns the motorcycle's MP5 rounds into rolling fire. Afterward, he invites Lin Shunan out for a scouting ride. The bike's blue-white shield holds against acid rain, liquor tongues, and night demon swarms, with their average constitution above 500, the shield's defense scales cleanly. Out in the wilderness, they stumble into a slime zombie nest full of merging mucus. To merge into a giant ball, so he lights the corpse-burning candle and uses his incinerate spell. His curse rises to 2, leaving 40-some bronze quality. Blueprints dropped at the fire's edge. Later, Lin Shunan reminds him that these untamed off-highway wilderness zones are like a vicious world of their own. Much like the fierce ghost territories, just less obviously marked. Back on the bus, he summons a Rain Woman avatar to ask about the mysterious Mist Woman. The avatar confirms that she, the Mist Woman, and a primordial Snow Woman are all legendary fierce ghosts, each born during their own apocalyptic disasters. They possess terrifying growth rates. Surprisingly, the next disaster after rain isn't fog. Fog is far too lethal to unleash just yet. Her only clue is change. Lin Shunan works out the rest at the dinner table. Snow turned to rain. The temperature began to rise, meaning the rain would soon turn to thick fog. This meant the upcoming disasters would be extreme heat followed by heavy fog, which Yan Ran agreed with. As they prepared for the heat, Ying Jiaxin shoved Wang Jiaxin toward him as they passed through the corridor, announcing she was handing her best friend over for the night. Wang Jiaxin blushed and admitted she liked him. Admitting she did not want to feel bitter about Jiaxin winning first, he took her in. Luo Xiaxia stood in the hallway afterward, her fists clenched. Planning to be next, the Day 22 Sign-In expanded his title slots from 5 to 7, which he took instantly, with mail carrier Ferriman, 1000 Cup Drunkard, and the new god of vehicles already crowding his 5 active slots. Having room to expand mattered much more than another item. Far away, Zio Long led his 300-strong, 8-bus convoy into a dungeon at Long Yue Lake. They did not realize they were invading the Rain Woman's territory. His S-rank talent let him merge any consenting vehicles into a single fleet, averaging out their overall levels, sharing upgrade costs while stacking 3 points of constitution, agility, and stamina per connected bus directly to himself. He also possessed a second S-rank skill, Ghost Extinguishing Flame, a black fire that burned spirits but could not harm physical creatures. With 3 A ranks, 5 B ranks, and 3 minor talents, they seemed unstoppable. They sent a D rank master swimmer to test the waters, but a zombie arm dragged him deep underwater. Wang Zigao's flames did nothing, since the hand belonged to a zombie, not a spirit. Unfazed, the team waited 3 hours for the dungeon to open. However, the Rain Woman overheard their plans to lure her out with ghost candles and eliminate her. To save herself, she quickly called him through her core power. His late mother's spirit possessed him as the Rain Woman dragged him underwater, and they surfaced right next to the fight. Wang Zigao spotted a figure in a red wedding dress, hovering in the air with a rifle, and had 0 time to unleash his flames. Soul Extinguishing combined with the bridal veil's beam, blasting a hole straight through his head. Instantly, the ghost hand clamped when Ruenqing's neck before she could even light her candle. The Rain Woman multiplied into deadly avatars, piercing heads with black umbrellas while he gunned down the rest with a golden AK. The entire 300 strong force was wiped out in minutes. Some screamed he was a player helping vicious ghosts slaughter humanity, but he did not bother explaining. The fallen bodies of Wang Zigao and Zio Long each dropped an S-rank talent card fragment. This was a brand new discovery. Taking out S-rank players yielded fragments. He grabbed them silently, keeping this crucial secret to himself. along with the 2 from before and his 4 banked pieces. He now held 7 fragments toward a new S rank. Talent 3 more and he could synthesize it. The enemy backpacks were quite underwhelming since most of their high-tier equipment was left behind on the buses far away. Still, he salvaged a high-grade gold machete called the Sundergold blade off Zio Zio Long and a silver Supreme Spirit axe off Wang Zigao, alongside a pair of gold low-grade haste boots that granted 3 agility and 20% attack speed for 5 minutes upon activation. They fit him perfectly. He gave the silver spirit axe to Li Rial and passed her old inscribed silver sword down to Yin Shi. Suddenly the rain cleared up, the clouds split, and blinding sunlight broke through as the Rain Woman began her blue-white breakthrough. Platinum low grade. For a few seconds her face went tyrant cold and he genuinely braced for a fight, but her eyes warmed up again as she stepped into his arms and kissed him. The heart of the Rain Woman around his neck upgraded to Platinum mid-grade, 4 avatars now instead of 3, Gold high-grade. Strength 15-minute durations, hour-long cooldowns. Her true body could be summoned for 30 minutes off 1,000 mental power on a 48-hour cooldown. A new third ability let him summon Long Yue like water itself in narrow terrain. Charging 1 curse per minute past the first on a 24-hour cooldown, she still would not board the bus. Long Yue Lake was her source of strength now, and the Heavenly Tao would not let her abandon the dungeon, but if he gave the heart of the Rain Woman to Lin Ziyuan or one of the others, her avatar could ferry him back and forth through the lake water. They agreed he would help her anytime players came to Long Yue Lake to bully her, and she would kill them and leave their loot for him. Her conditions for getting on the bus permanently were left for later, requiring some way to bind the bus to the lake without the necklace on the trip back. Curse stats set at 3. That evening the bus stalled and the chickens in the farming room turned into a problem. They would not fit in his personal backpack because they were alive, so he shoved them into rice sacks, listed them on the bus mall at 100,000 bus coins per bag, using the trade post slots as free temporary storage. Other drivers saw this and figured out the trick. They got off and cleared a 100-meter radius during the 1-hour stall, putting 3 female tyrants and the puppets in front. Li Royal used Sky Opening Palm to clear the middle, with Su Meiji freezing flanks. The rocket launcher girls Liu Xiao Feng and Liu Xiao Zhu bombed the back, almost 100-meter sweep. A black iron treasure chest in the hall dropped 2 common quality skill upgrade cards. He gave 1 to Li Royal for her enhanced strike, now black iron, and 1 to Liu Xiao Zhu for willow wood entanglement. The chickens came out of the bus mall alive but slightly traumatized. Day 23 Sign-In had a cursed permanent station option, bringing 1 curse per visit with terrifying entities likely inside. He took it, finding the Moon Spirit Pawn Shop, a station with a faceless shadow shopkeeper behind a counter stacked with yellow papers. The deal was simple. Pick a paper. Front shows the reward, back shows the task. If you fail the task, you get 1 chance to re-roll, and if you fail that, the shopkeeper kills you. He watched another driver named Zhao Jun discover a dark twist. If the shopkeeper is about to kill you, you can offer your own life as a new trade for a new task and exploit the cycle indefinitely. He used it to save himself but threw his classmate Chen Lily to the wolves to do it. There was a paper offering an S-rank talent upgrade card for 7 disaster fierce ghost treasure chests within 2 months. This was extremely difficult, impossible for now. He took the lower tier paper instead. 1 S-rank talent card fragment for killing 3 platinum quality task creatures within 13 days, medium difficulty. With the sword-wielding zombie about to cross his path, it was manageable. He now held 7 S-rank fragments, needing 3 more to build a new talent. He visited Zhuo Mayan afterward. She knew about the pawn shop and warned him curses could be removed, but the cost is high, and if he gets into real trouble with the shopkeeper, who might be able to negotiate him out. today's wine was. Energy wine, bronze mid-grade, 20 stamina and 20 mental per bottle. She would not give him the 5 times reward this time, because she realized she would just lose every solo bet. The whole class drank with him, luo zio zio. Sobered the drunk ones, 200 bottles of energy wine to take home, plus a standing offer of help from the most powerful administrator he had met. That afternoon, the system flagged Mid-Month Plaza, a 4-floor mall like a Wanda. Back home with another bus already inside, the bus's owner was Ma Wonking, 29, the youngest professor at the Beijing Science Academy of Geography. S-rank infinite corrosion, black mist that ate everything including spirits. Scaling on constitution and stamina, she tried to lecture him into leaving and only let them in when she saw the 3 female tyrants and the puppets line up. Behind them, the first 3 floors were already cleared. The 4th floor held a sword-wielding zombie, platinum low-grade, breaking toward platinum mid. 2800 constitution, 0 mental, with 2 platinum skills, instant shadow, slash and piercing sword kai, and a crimson longsword that radiated pressure. It could not descend below the 4th floor. Lin Xuan ran the plan. Yang Jiaozin opened with yin-yang reversal, stripping 100 constitution and stamina off it and adding 20% damage taken. Sumeichi cast Frozen World, Wang Jiaozai refreshed it for the second round. Li Royao charged in. Powerful strike plus half-moon cleave through sky-opening palm. Gu Pingsheng stabbed the Thundergold blade into its head, and the critical hit attribute fired for the first time since he unlocked it. 6% of the boss's health gone in one strike. The 4 Rain Woman avatars piled their black umbrellas into its torso. Ma Wonking unleashed her black mist on its head. Jiang Ningyue threw a greater fireball when control broke. The sword wielder tried to use piercing sword kai on Li Rao. She summoned a paper effigy that ate the strike. The wall behind her split open. She lost 1 curse for using the skill. Gu Pingsheng blocked the next strike with the Sunder Gold blade, and the impact cracked it almost in half. Late Mother's Reg. Vale bought time. The final ghost hand piercing its head landed exactly 15 seconds after the start, just as it was about to use instant shadow slash, dead. The corpse dropped a platinum low-grade resource treasure chest, the bone sword of the dead. Platinum low-grade virus on hit deters every zombie below platinum. And sword wielder's dead bones, platinum quality material that fed to a sub. Platinum physical creature, 100 at a time, would transform it into a new sword. Wielder, they had 30-some bones. Gu Pingsheng gave Ma Wonking 8 as her share. The chest opened into the bone spear, matching the sword given to Li Rao. The piercing sword sheen skill book, platinum low grade, 18-second cooldown. Gu Pingsheng learned it himself. 20 gold vein stones and over 500 silver vein stones, with those plus the silver spirit stones from earlier. The bus's level 9 upgrade requirements were finally complete. Ma Wonking apologized for lecturing him, added him as a friend, and went completely pale when she saw Gu Pingsheng in her contacts. Talk about awkward. Been arguing with the world's #1 driver. They agreed to share the plaza for a day. Too many supplies to take in one pass. He sold goods on the bus mall at 20% below market, hand-typing trade posts as fast as he could, brand name. They stocked up on food, bagged meat, drinks, and fresh buffet beef and seafood. His trading reputation carried him. Other players bought out everything, late at night. He caught Sister Jiang carrying 10 cases of water up to the bus and took them out of her arms. Soon, they ended up alone in a corner of the 3rd-floor supermarket. He held her hand. She glanced around. He leaned in, but she told him not to, so he let go, picking up a stack of cereal boxes from the floor instead. She stood there, her eyes closed a bit too long, honestly, walking away. She finally told him to find her after the Blood Moon Day. Lin Xuanan and Liu Rai were watching from behind a shelf the entire time. Lin Xuanan whispered to Royal what Sister Jiang had actually been thinking. It was too much gossip to repeat. And they ran off when he noticed. the day 24 sign-in dropped a gold mid-grade. Spiritual Thunder Strike Skill Book, giving a 3-second stun against gold tier or below, and 4. Against spirits with 50% extra damage and a 20-second cooldown, perfect for Liu Raya. Since she now had the Divine Quality Exchange, she finally had a way to spend. Her swap of 2,000 mental power on actual ghost-killing damage, the bus rebuilt and its heart count crept up to 5 after Liu Shaoying decomposed Su Meiji's old vehicle. He pushed the bus to level 9, reaching a massive 120 by 30 meters, 3 floors plus a dimensional 4th floor. It reached a top speed of 150 kilometers per hour. The level up function was Refresh, featuring a 96-hour cooldown that completely resets every other bus function, including ignition. Then he bought the blueprints. 4-story, then 5-story, immediately adding 40 silver-grade warehouses up the side walls of the 4th floor, upgraded them all to silver, the 5th floor too, mostly empty for now. Until filled, Wu Dainen's dining car was upgraded. Zhao Yuding's group of 5 took charge of organizing. It was their job. Categorize, restock, and run the new in-bus mini-supermarket, which was actually Yan Rong's brilliant idea. Have Ryo and the gigantified girls move whole shelves down at once, then the rest stripped them while the next shelf came down. Zhao Yuding tried to seduce him on the 3rd floor, wearing heavy makeup, a low-cut top, and a miniskirt. She claimed she was a virgin and wanted his love. He walked away. Lin Xuanan caught up to her, explaining that it was not her figure but her cheapness that failed. Zhao Yuding got the message. By morning, she toned it down, barely any makeup, a simpler skirt, returning to work. Ma Wanjing came over before her bus left, asking if her whole research institute could join. He refused, explaining that only she and Xuanwen were welcome because the rest of her team was filled with male players. Unwilling to abandon them, she chose to part ways. Lin Xuanan watched her bus fade away, predicting she would be back after a few stalls. Wanjing would return soon. They had to stock up. The 4th and 5th floors became massive, long-term warehouses, storing enough supplies to easily last them 2 full years. Even with zero resupply, analyzing the expiration dates, Lin Xuanan worked out a theory. All resources found in convenience stores, supermarkets, gas stations, and even his sign-in fast food joints were leftover materials. From Earth transmigrating with players, the heavenly Tao did not create matter from nothing. As the 3rd blood moon night arrived, the population dropped to 800 million globally. Less than a tenth of the original 10 billion survived. New rules dictated that maximum monster quality was determined by the average of the top tier. With 3 buses now, the ceiling rises for everyone. Wiping out other buses pays 5 times the constitution and bus hearts, plus double their total points. Cooperative stations can now match buses across different regions anywhere on Earth, and the Soul Road can spawn isolated stretches of highway where buses meet a soul station holding their own deceased passengers as ghosts, bring a soul back. And the driver takes 10 curse. The soul might lose control, but a supernatural event triggers with some amazing loot. Ignore the soul and it dissipates. Forever, almost everyone in class thought of Huang Ting at the same. Yang Jiaxin stripped down to a swimsuit, claiming it was hot, the windows were one way, and she might catch his eye. Moment half the class found excuses to copy her. Huang Jiwen stood there, honestly confused. Their first major encounter was a Titan zombie gold ultimate. Grade with 3500 constitution, standing 8 meters tall, Lin Zunen looked right through it and spotted a platinum low grade, possessing Ghost King inside, a soul-bound parasite that could never change. Bodies once chosen, its presence gave the zombie partial spiritualization. That meant his instant ghost barrier breaker title, where collision damage doubles against spirits in exchange for 1 curse per gold or higher kill would finally apply to a physical creature. The plan: hit first with all spirit side attacks, then ram hard using acceleration plus the spiritualization function, and his title, the opening strike landed in one. Beat soul-extinguishing ghost hand, red veil bewitchment, ice bird impact. Spiritual thunder, Lyra's 2,000 mental stats via divine exchange, and yang. Jackshin's full debuff as Zhang Keike hit the gas, the bus phased into a spirit and rammed it at 300 kilometers per hour. The giant zombie exploded. With the Ghost King crushed inside, 300,000 points for this supernatural event kill plus the zombie itself. He is world number 1 by an absolute mile. Embarrassing everyone else. Seriously, these drops are just plain ridiculous. A platinum low grade chest with 2 B-rank talent upgrade cards inside. He gave one to Jean. KK boosting gigantication to A rank, granting 5 times size and 5 times constitution. With lower stamina, and gave one to Wang Jia T, upgrading cooldown refresh to A rank permanent. Refresh, which can permanently turn any skill's cooldown into a 2. Charge stored format, though it locks her out of her talent for a week. Wang Jia T shouted that she loved her class monitor husband in front of everyone. Jean KK agreed, saying weakly. Half the class cheered, while Chen Tong-er and Lin Zai Han stood quietly in the back, recalculating their odds. Wang Jia T spent her first permanent refresh on the refresh function itself, meaning they now get one charge every 48 hours, storing up to 2. Stack that with ignition and they can trigger ignition 4 times in a row during an emergency. The gold ultimate chest open to a permanent skill book, Power of the Nether Titan, gold. Mid-grade staying even after being learned. With a 3-hour learning time, it's 100. Second cooldown removes all negative status on use, then enhances their next 3 attacks with Titan power, letting each blow damage spiritual entities even without spiritual weapons. Every passenger on the bus can learn it, including his late mother and female tyrants. 8 daily, 3 hours each. The entire class would master it within a week. Lyra went first, then the Soul Road opened. The bus transitioned into a black sky and a black wilderness, just as Lin Xiaonan predicted. 10 minutes later, a station appeared, and on the step stood Huang Ting, her face completely pale and dead, the pawn shop yellow. Paper had taught them that bringing a soul on board adds 10 curse, but killing a soul drops valuable loot. Lin Xiaonan had a strong hunch this kill would pay better. They stopped the bus. Huang Ting stood on the steps, complaining that Lin Xiaonan needed to apologize. Suddenly, a transparent, gold low-grade ghost that materializes only during attacks appeared to ambush them. Jiang Ningyu immediately bound it while Li Royal blasted it with spiritual thunder, dropping a gold treasure chest. Then the ghost hand crushed Huang Ting's skull right as she was still mid-sentence about Jiang Ningyu saving her. 2 black sticks of wandering soul incense fell beside her body. This gold low-grade item, lit next to a corpse, returns the dead person's soul under their command for up to 10 minutes. Lin Xiaonan was absolutely right. A mere C-rank fragment could never compete with that. Down the highway, similar grim moments were playing out on other buses. Most drivers ignored the soul stations, but a few stopped to retrieve deceased loved ones. Unfortunately, at least one driver was instantly torn apart by a powerful ghost ambushing the target soul. Wang Qing's bus reached a soul station where her late student Lu Tao waited. She steeled her heart and drove straight past, while a young researcher begged her to stop the bus. Lu Tao's soul cursed her, then thanked her before finally dissipating. She glanced at Su Wenwen sitting beside her, keeping her heavy thoughts entirely to herself. Meanwhile, the chat channel filled with reports of foreign clashes. Chu Chi ran into a Japanese bus during a cooperative mission, had a fierce dispute, slaughtered every single opponent, and walked away with 25 attribute points and 5 bus hearts. Plenty of other drivers had similar brutal stories of first-time encounters with foreign buses going south fast. A 15-minute delay while Jiang Keek learned a new skill. Barely registered, the late mother phased through a wall, yanking out a shadow ghost, a silver low-grade specter that steals shadows from the living until they become Shadow ghosts themselves. Li Royale blasted it dead with spiritual thunder. Slaughter. Constant fights pushed points past 450,000. Then the system flagged a photo studio on the moon as a mandatory cooperative. Mission Station, a genuinely cross-region encounter. Inside, they found a yellow-lit, old building crowded with soldiers from the Great Wall, Major General Lei Lujan's guard. The Great Wall commander, an S-rank golden light flicker, wore his full uniform and a gold cloak. Wu Gang stood nearby, an A-rank radar user with divine hint. Huang Jikyang S-rank steam emissary used scorching steam clones that evaporated spirits and physical foes alike, scaling with stamina, duration, and constitution. Together with him, 3 more A-ranks, plus a healer matching Luo. Zioxi, 500 passengers in total, almost all refugees Li Lujan had picked up from buses that abandoned them. Li Lujan approached Gu directly and called him captain. Wu Gang's radar had already told him Gu was the strongest in the room, and the bus must be safe. They shook hands. Mission rules dictated 5 chosen plus 3. Random per side, 16 people total. Take a strange, camera-shaped van to a small world, photograph a fierce ghost, and leave the photo in an envelope at the photo location before returning. Gu chose Li Royale, Lin Chuanan, and the late mother Su Maikai. The dice roll assigned Luo Zio Feng, Yang Shunman, and Du Lin from Zhou Qingqing's squad. Li Lujan took Wu Gang, Huang Jicheng, 2 A-rank fighters, and 3 random refugee players, a young woman, an older woman, and a man named Wang Qi. The Spectre camera was special quality, its exact function still unknown. Lin Chuanan's divine hint hit a wall, so Li Lujan offered to carry it himself. If taking a photo triggered the ghost's anger, he wanted to take the hit. Lin Chuanan privately warned him to let it go, sensing the camera was bad news. He handed it over anyway. The driver of the camera van was a hunched old administrator in sunglasses. He pressed a shutter on his own chest camera, and the world washed out white. Suddenly they arrived in Misty Town, a place of fog and red moonlight. Clearly linked to the Mist Woman, Lin Chuanan figured out the whole setup right there. The post-mission system had 3 main steps. Take photos, leave them inside envelopes, collect those envelopes from graveyards, then develop and process them. Deliver letters from those graveyards back to post stations, slowly unleashing disaster-class ghosts into the survival world stage by stage, all carried through photographs and letters. The Mist Woman had never wanted to come. She called the survival world hell, claiming even other powerful entities feared it. Why the Rain Woman had been so friendly to him from the very beginning finally clicked into place. She wanted to secure a foothold here safely. The fog constantly drained 0.01% health per second, manageable for their group but deadly for the refugees. Li Lujan took point against the coming ghost waves using his golden light. Wu Gang's radar pointed them toward the strongest signature, assuming it was the Mist Woman's actual body. Half an hour in, the female refugee next to Li Lujan suddenly drew a dagger and stabbed at him. He blocked with his golden light. Lin Qiang had warned them a split second earlier. The woman had already been silently replaced by a Mist Woman clone, somehow swapped out under cover of the thick fog. Li Lujan killed the false duplicate. The older woman wept silently upon realizing her companion was already dead. The Mist Woman's chilling voice echoed through the mist, complaining that they had broken into her territory, so she was merely defending herself. Then her clone dissolved back into fog, swearing to kill every last one of them. To be fair, she had a point. They were the actual intruders here, but a mission was a mission. Half an hour later, the older woman on Li Lujan's side was also replaced. Yang Shengen barely escaped becoming the 3rd victim. A sudden, icy chill touched her back. Her body locked up as her health crashed to 0. The Blood Moon Lord's protective passive saved her at 50% health. She survived but burned through her single fatal hit survival shield for the night. By this point, Linzai had fully worked it out. The Mist Woman only targeted female players at roughly 30-minute intervals. specifically choosing those with low mental strength for silent replacement. The pattern fit perfectly, one more attack and someone on their team without Yang. Shengen's unique luck would end up dead. She suggested sending the Rain Woman to negotiate. Lin Xianen's strategy was straightforward: send the Rain Woman to speak with the Mist Woman face to face. He summoned her physical form using the Rain Woman's heart. Major General Li Lujin watched in awe as a terrifying spirit took shape from lake water. Right before his eyes, wary but practical, he accepted that the young man held a major trump card. The Rain Woman quickly explained the situation. The Mist Woman was outright rejecting the heavenly. The spectral summons went out, the exact reason these deadly missions even existed. She had grown stronger after the storm cleared, while the Mist Woman had already lost most of her power to the confiscated photos and envelopes, placing the Rain Woman's heart around her neck. She flooded the streets of Misty Town. Any Chang ghosts that were dragged into the lake water became hers. Suddenly, the Mist Woman's clone appeared in the air, mockingly calling her a ghost traitor, but fell silent the moment the Rain Woman coldly warned her that any calamity ghosts refusing this summons would arrive in hell late and grow weaker. Soon, the real Mist Woman walked out of the thick fog in person, a true platinum high-grade threat, according to Lin Chun, though functionally a mere clone since so much of her power had been stripped away. She reluctantly let Major General Li Lujin photograph her, glaring the entire time as they left the envelope behind. Their reward: 50,000 bus coins, 100,000 points, and 3 platinum low-grade Mist Woman clone summoning cards. Good for a single 10-minute battle, plus the Photo Studio Ferriman title, 1 mission a week of his own choosing, featuring an extra teammate slot and the option to select a partner bus or match randomly. Li Lujin's haul was smaller since most of the actual work was done by him and the Rain Woman. They added each other as friends. The general made it clear he would only take photo missions if forced. Every foe accelerated a new calamity ghost's arrival in their world, and he simply did not want to have a hand in it. Fair enough. The phase vehicle driver answered one piece of trivia on the way back: if any vehicle stalls, there are 0 exceptions, including his. Anything living on a stalled bus dies instantly, except for immature crops planted resting soil, which finally explained why their logging factory and cultivation room never withered after a stall. This magical soil keeps seeds and immature plants in stasis. Eggs are likely the same. Fully mature crops, hens, and players all die. On the way back to their highway, Lin Chun spotted a platinum low-grade witch zombie in the wild. She had low agility but carried a platinum tier witch's staff that fired non-targeted spirit orbs, and a magical robe that easily resisted spirit attacks but crumbled under physical hits. A 2-man job, with him riding on the back of the bike, Lin Chun steering, battle intent fully stacked. They circled at a distance, and he sliced her in half with 8 piercing sword kai swings, taking 4 shield hits along the way. The robe and staff dropped. The staff cost 50 stamina per cast with no cooldown, but he could only fire 10 or so before running completely dry. The robe was a stronger version of the red bridal gown without the stun. Points crossed 600,000. At 6 in the morning, the third blood moon ended. Safe ended at 612,300, and Los Santos at 434,500. Li Lujin's guard the Great Wall at 397,800. Massive rewards awaited. Every passenger walked away with 70 regular and 30 special attribute points, plus 30 inventory slots. His backpack expanded to 200 slots, while stall safety stretched to 25 minutes. They also received 2 D-rank talent upgrade cards, 2 C-rank talent upgrade cards, and 1 S-rank talent card fragment, leaving him at 8 of 10. 2 more and he can synthesize. Now get this: 2 random talents dropped, and every single passenger received a gold low-grade weapon from the gold spirit set. The driver gained 10 luck, and his maximum health doubled to 200%, with battle intent peaking his. Now his constitution sits well over 2,000, with his effective health pool doubling that. The new talents are super useful, with Sister Jiang getting a rank gravitational control. It stacks with her telekinesis, allowing her to drag anything toward her. The physical pull scales with constitution and the spiritual with mental. Combining them doubles the field. Huang Zihan, of all people, somehow draws a solid B-rank flight talent. He gets white wings that triple his airborne agility. Yang Zixin suggests a crazy combo. Sister Jiang rides him to drag enemies up. They can just drop their targets from above. Next, the 4 upgrade cards go to Lu Shumeng. Immovable Mountain becomes B-rank Mountain Suppressor, boosting Constitution by 400%. This gives a flat 100% passive boost while on the move. It is basically like Gigantification, but anchored. Zyro Mengxi is next. Self-destruction radius grows from 10 to 100 meters, but it's still suicide. Su Yuer upgrades Ragdoll Cat to C-rank White Shadow Cat, doubling agility. She also gains 10% Constitution. Meanwhile, a fresh D-rank talent is synthesized for Chen Xuan. Upgraded to C-rank Blade Edge, it lets 5 blades sprout anywhere from her body. This scales with Constitution, but honestly, she isn't even that impressed. Her Gold Spirit Blade already does way more damage, but this talent has room to grow. His Constitution officially crosses the 1,000 mark, a huge milestone. His mental reaches 2,300 just as a massive world update drops. Monster speeds instantly jump to 60 kilometers per hour, making them way faster. Supernatural events are no longer Blood Moon only, and entry fees jump to 10 coins. 500 regions merge together at once, dumping them straight into the massive region 1500. In this new region, a rival driver named Mo Tiancheng makes his move. Driving the 25th ranked Sky Territory bus, he immediately starts trash-talking their survival rank. He claims their top finish was luck, so Han Wenxiang and the boys step in. They completely roast him in the chat until he shut his mouth. But Lin Xiu and Fly send a quick warning about his true plans. Mo Tiancheng has a sketchy item on him to control his crew if they ever cross paths. On day 25, a daily check-in reward grants a 10 km/h speed boost. This puts their top speed at 170, easily the fastest globally. They pull into a service area where Sister Jiang follows him into the mall. Once alone, she softly calls him husband, and he buys her a high-grade skill. The Silver Silk Entanglement has a 15-second cooldown and shoots sticky threads. Since it doubles her control power, he also grabs combat skills for the Vanguard. Li Jian, Liu Zumeng, and Lin Zihan all get major silver tier upgrades before they head upstairs. Outside, the arena gets crazy when a crowd of actual children walks in. They are elementary school kids, led by a monitor girl with twin pigtails. She wields a black dagger beside a bespectacled vice monitor with a high intelligence look. The rest of these kids carry massive weapons far too big for them. Their monitor is Jiang Sheimu, possessing S-rank 5 senses deprivation. She can strip all 5 senses from one target or take 1 sense from 5 different victims. With a 10-minute cooldown, the terrifying effect lasts for 5 full minutes. She instantly shuts down a massive ranked giant carrying a heavy battle axe. Left completely blind and deaf, the brute is easily stabbed through his vital spots. Smart Vice Monitor Li Tian leads alongside 2 more ranks. Back on their bus, he turned down a duel with Jiang Shamu. Smart. Lin Xian had predicted exactly how that fight would end if he tried. So instead, Lin Xian walked over to the game zone. He targeted Li Tian. First a number bomb bait, she lucked out and won quickly, no problem. Then Shanghai played for 20,000 coins, she threw the match on purpose. Now hooked, they went for the kill. The elementary bus got entirely cleaned out. 80,000 coins in the bag, Li Tian sat crying over her beer. Her IQ was thoroughly insulted. Jiang Shamu hugged her, Lin Xian walked away with 230,000 total, too easy. They stopped playing, she still won big, Day 26, Sign-In brought a module. A gold fire element card. It adds 150% fire damage. Saved it for his corpse-burning lighter. Next, he bought Vigor Wine from Chin. Bronze grade Constitution boost, 300 bottles, distributed to frontline combatants. When given to Lee Raya with Vigor Wine and Adrenaline, plus. Yang Jackson's buff, her Constitution ceiling crossed 4,000. Insane. Meanwhile, Liu Xiaoying upgraded the bus, cutting fuel consumption by 40%. She added a silencer and seat massagers, luxury travel, then Liu Xiaofeng. Unlocked freezing potions, low gold grade, requiring 50 jin of ice and mental energy. Easy, Su Maikai conjured the ice, instantly using her spirit staff. But after lunch, the extreme heat disaster hit hard, even the AC struggled. So he dropped 100,000 coins to upgrade to central purification. Diamond grade, it blocks toxic gases, deadly viruses, and bad humidity. Dehumidification plus 30% stamina and mental recovery just for being. Inside, the next tier, costing 300,000, adds 1% health recovery for everyone inside the bus. That second tier is the answer to the fog. Disaster when it hits. Fog drains health with every breath, but a level 2 diamond AC. Isolates the gas and regenerates faster than the drain. He made a mental note to broadcast that on the chat channel later. A great reputation play, late. Afternoon, he sacrificed his male Ferriman title for a solo random match. Solo. Gives a 50% reward boost with 0 danger from bad teammates. The destination was Misty Town, in person this time. No sign of General Li Lujin. The coach driver was the same sunglass-wearing administrator who recognized him. The Rain woman's heart was on cooldown, so she was not coming to save him. He went in with only Lei Rao and late mother, very risky. The rest of the team waited at the post station with Yang Jackson. The mist woman appeared at their shouting. He immediately started threatening her. He threatened to flood her town and misuse her clone summoning card. He also claimed he had ghost-repelling incense and candles ready. She stewed in anger, accepted a gold spirit axe tribute, and guided them. She led them to the envelope. Lin Xianong had warned him earlier. The photo clone inside the envelope attacks regardless of the main body's will. The moment he lifted the envelope, a murderous mist woman clone materialized. She phased in right behind him. He instantly drank his Ling Qin wine. For an 80% dodge rate on her first 3 attacks. Next, he used Nether Titan's power to convert his strikes to spirit damage, then drew. He swings the bone sword, unleashing a piercing wave of energy. The strike hits a clone instantly. She shatters. The blast surges straight past, splitting the ground and several buildings behind her into a deep fissure. The original Mist Woman clone watching the battle had been charging up her power. But after that swing, she goes silent. He walks over to the envelope. And the platinum chest she dropped, teasingly tells her she is cute when angry and exits. She curses at them all the way to the gate. Then, rewards pop up. He gets 15,000 bus coins and 3 more Mist Woman cards, making 4 total. Plus his 9th title, Calamity Buster, cutting incoming calamity damage by 10%. He also deals 10% more damage to calamity ghosts. Suddenly, a new face appears. She walks down the stairs, a woman with a high ponytail, wearing a neat post station uniform named Wang Shi, the second-floor administrator. Only drivers who perfectly cleared 2 missions can see her. Her explanation clarifies the whole system. There are 3. First, original ghosts native to this world. Second, reincarnated ghosts transformed from other living beings, including humans. And finally, derivative ghosts. They are unique because they are both original and reincarnated. Interestingly, each batch of players gets their own set. The previous batch had a flame woman, while his has a flame man. No shared memories. These post stations exist to push calamity ghosts and other Deparia horrors into their world using envelopes and photos. That is why these dangerous missions exist. Even tougher, the second floor of the post station holds much higher-tier missions. Tasks like slaying a fierce ghost or delivering envelopes deep into hostile spirit territory. Only drivers holding the ferryman title can accept these deadly quests. Conveniently, the monsters chasing the bus freeze while they are inside these stations. But the most chilling thing Wang Shi reveals is the connection between their enemies. Think about it like this: zombies are just physical bodies without souls. Meanwhile, fierce ghosts are souls without bodies, but where do they all come from? The horrifying truth is that the players and their predecessors are the source. They suspected this survival world was a breeding pit, and Wang Shi just confirmed it. Next up, the loot. From the platinum chest, he pulls a pair of platinum spirit claws. They are like brass knuckles with 5 sharp talons, capable of shredding spirits. Perfect for Zan Keek's gigantification, scaling up as she grows. With these claws, she becomes an absolute melee bruiser at her gold tier ceiling. His late mother sends her sister's birth details. A 3-way fork appears. Left is the highway, right is a manor, and the center is Helen Ancient Town. A stone tablet at the entrance reads, Betrothal of Gu Pingsheng and Liu. Xunyang, he loses 13 sanity points from this eerie sight and simply ignores. Lin Shi moves forward, eavesdropping on the radio, the new ghost bride's inner. Monologue confirms she is a total yander, wanting to eat him piece by piece and sleep. On a bed made of his bones, yet she loves him completely. His late mother had been. The exact same way at first. They go in heavy this time, deploying most of the class. Leaving only one puppet and one female tyrant on the bus, they clear the streets. One-shotting chain ghosts and picking up the dropped wedding candies along the way. The ghost hand from Helen's main hall appears again, dropping a mid-tier silver ghost item. Lin Xuan handed over the skill book after finding its core, which he gave to late mother. Now a registered player, she could finally learn skills and likely even accept talent cards. This was a secret weapon for later. Meanwhile, they faced a new low-tier gold ghost matchmaker. Unlike the paper double from before, this boss used a low gold tier wooden puppet technique. He warned them that killing a member of the Ghost Master organization meant massive retaliation. But he finished him off anyway, looting a low gold tier wooden puppet summoning scroll. It worked like Li Real's paper double, but this wooden decoy inherited his full attributes. The puppet lasted 10 minutes with a 15-minute cooldown and triggered only one curse. He handed this ultimate survival tool over to Lin Xuan to keep him safe in battles. Next, they cracked open 2 silver chests, giving Gao Lan and Yin Shi silver skill books. The low gold chest contained a ghost candle before the group headed into the central courtyard. Suddenly, Lu Xinyang stepped out wearing the same red bridal gown and veil as late mother. The only difference was her hair was tied up, triggering that same rule-bound love curse. Sporting low gold tier strength, she immediately demanded that they get married. Talk about a psycho bride, she wanted him to execute his women and let her eat him. Late mother immediately slapped her, while sister Jiang used her gravity field to pull her in. She tied her down with the ghost binding rope, and 80% of remaining ghosts were cleared. On Lin Xuan's advice, they left 20% behind so the next bride could still form. This haul earned them 4,000 distributable points of mental energy. He took 500, stopping when his constitution hit 1012 and mental hit 3814. The severe imbalance gave him dizzy spells. Constitution strictly caps how high a player's mental energy can safely climb. Sister Jiang received 600 points since her ghost gravity scales with mental power. Late mother got 500, reaching high gold tier, while Liu Xiaofeng took 100. This funded potions, leaving Su Meiji with nothing due to her staff bottleneck. The remaining 2,300 points were split evenly among 44 passengers. Everyone got about 50 points. Back on the bus, Sister Jiang volunteered to drive. She spent the drive educating their bound captive, Lu Xinyang, using her telekinetic powers. Late mother sat nearby enjoying the show before he went to deal with Lu Xinyang. He used his usual terrifying manipulation tactics, framing her resentment as a mere misunderstanding. He explained that her betrothal gifts were always going to end up in his hands anyway. He pointed out that the ghost matchmaker was the villain who had initiated the fight. He argued that if she truly loved him, she would trust his word over some stranger. The rule-bound love did the rest, and she broke down calling him husband. Sister Jiang and late mother stared in sheer disbelief from the side, while Lin Xuan eagerly took mental notes on his genius manipulation tactics with absolute admiration. Late mother realized he had likely done the same to her, but decided she simply did not care. Before sleeping, he pulled late mother into her private quarters to ask about the ghost masters. She admitted she did not know much, only that they collaborate with highly dangerous ghosts. This massive syndicate is generally walled off from players by the survival world system. Native fierce ghosts and factions cannot easily enter the main highways. They are prevented from directly interfering with player activities outside of designated stations. They can only attack players during scheduled stations or special supernatural events. If they want payback for the dead matchmaker, they must use official, rule-bound channels. Luckily, a low-tier member like that matchmaker probably is not worth their full attention. All that trouble simply was not worth it. She believed they would let things go. With no immediate retaliation coming, they had to take advantage of this quiet window. Now was the time to grow stronger.